Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We're back. The crew of Void. We are here. We're here. We're doing it. This is the first show of the year. This is the first show of season 3. This is the first show we've ever kickstarted or something. We've crowdfunded. That's a better word for it. This is the first show we've ever crowdfunded. You guys have done this. We are currently recording the audio for a special podcast version, which will be edited and up in the future. This is also a 3-hour extended episode, which is crazy. We have cosplays. We had that dope trailer, which big shout out to every single person for shooting that video and also Dot for editing that shit together. But that's it. We're here, ready for this. If you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is by joining us on Patreon. Link for that down below. The next best way is joining us in our Discord and being a part of the community. Link for that down below. Also, Jesus, I'm just going to ignore those. No. I'm just going to keep going.
I'm Tamir now. Just
I'm the pilot, motherfuckers! Yeah!
Dot left camera and it jacked everything up. I don't know what happened. I had it right for a second. We'll figure it out, guys. Exclamation point cameras. And, you know, that's where we are at. That's where we're at. Anyway, as always, in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves 2 purposes. 1 is when that bar fills, Dot gets to do what the hell she wants to us. And 2, every single dollar that goes into that goes back to these wonderful faces you see here before you. That being said, Dot, take us into space.
There's
2 corruption bars. Yeah, I saw those roll in. I feel that this seems rather appropriate to kick off season 3. I'm gonna just start by saying thank you. Thank you to every person who watched this show up to this point, even if you haven't and you're here. Thank you. That helped us fund this show. I want to say a big fat thank you. Yeah, just big fat thank yous. I'm starting out this cookie with 8 darkness points. Yeah.
Can I do something real quick?
Oh, yes, Eris, do the thing. Now's the perfect time. Eris is doing a thing, y'all.
Oh. Snap.
The board is changing. That's satisfying, everybody.
That is incredibly satisfying.
It's very satisfying. We've been looking at that for months now.
Yeah, since June.
That's
right?
now.
Yep.
Since June, we have been working hard to make this show happen, and here we are. So I'm going to do what Mike said and take it away. I feel like it's important to step back and look over the first 2 seasons because we're starting with a new character, same new character. If you had a chance to watch our one-shots, you'll know a little bit more about who she is. But a lot has led up to this point. A ragtag and unlikely group of people came together to finish a contract that was much more ingrained in a much larger problem threatening the third horizon. The Mysticides. In fact, it came knocking on an emissary's door. You went missing. And our group seemed to constantly be drawn to the path of where this emissary lie, specifically because it seemed to be the same path as where Priestess Sholly lied. Through great effort, we'll say, and some dangerous spots, they failed the emissary. But they did not fail Priestess Sholly. And in the wake of their return to Coriolis from their devastating trip to Kua, and I'm sorry, Joey left a funny in chat. And the crew came back the same number in total as they left with, but with different people. In exchange for Sholi, we lost Lamara. And Sul. But something happened on Kua to this group of people. They became a crew under the leadership of Tau. And after a year of Sul's quandary arrest, they rescue him with the help of a new crew member. One left behind by Priestess Sholi. A new task she has given her. She no longer is to protect her, but to protect this crew. Sholi believes your path is that of the emissaries. And after a successful jailbreak, I'll say explosive jailbreak. After an explosive jailbreak.
It was successful.
The way you say successful sounds like Malik. Successful?
It was definitely
I will say an explosive jailbreak.
Excuse me. Did we get Sul out? That was the mission. I rest my case.
Yes.
Didn't we murder an entire
You released
prison?
a lot of things. You blew out the right side of an airlocked prison. Sul made a friend and an enemy all in one. There's a villain in the making. But you daftly escaped into the dangerous Oticon system. And the vessel, labeled the Defiant, floats through a asteroid belt. The Belt of Ashes. Pieces of rock, rubble, and ship from the late Portal Wars float around you. And I imagine after you're assured that you aren't being followed by any anybody. Let's just say anybody at this point, because you're all fugitives. The camera cuts to Tau in the piloting seat. You're dead in the water, as they say.
Takes a deep breath and kind of sits back in her chair. Well, we should be okay here for at least a few minutes. Well, hopefully longer than that. Everybody okay?
Where is everyone else?
That's a real good question.
I don't
hear Tal's
remember.
voice come over the intercom.
Okay.
I was about to say comes over the intercom, and you hear Tal go, "Is everybody okay?" And the camera moves down the upper deck of this vessel, and I guess we'll just pass it. Is anybody? How about this? Is anybody in the main mess area? That would be the next place the camera would kind of be. Nobody in the public areas.
I think I'm in the mess area eating food.
You were in the mess area.
I remember
eating.
I was in the mess,
That's
and
true.
then
That's right.
and then fucking Malik turned off all the lights.
That's right.
It's true.
That's
most
right.
of
I
the
changed the
lights on the
power.
ship are actually still off. We've got mostly emergency lights running, so everything's
Yeah.
kind of got
Yeah,
a
'cause
red tint to it.
because we had to turn all of the power off to the reactors so that fucking Tamir could initiate a flip and
Okay,
burn.
in that case, can I explain where I am?
Yeah, you tell me. You tell me what's up.
All right, so picture this: it's a gringy, messy mess hall, red flashing lights. Sul, myself, that's me. I don't know why I said third person. I'm just sitting at the counter with on the floor with my knees knees in, just eating a can of who the fuck knows? Who cares? I'm just eating it. I'm not even using a fork or utensil. Fuck
It's
that.
like a veggie paste. It's a veggie
Oh,
paste.
ew,
is
fuck
what it
that. Okay,
is.
throw it away. I pick up the next can. And whatever that is,
I mean,
start eating.
that's basically it at this point. We are at the end of a long journey to come save you, and we are getting to the end of our rations.
But it's just
now.
it's like lentil paste too.
Let me
So
ask you,
Yeah.
is
It's
the
just a
second thing-
green
Is
veggie
the
paste.
second thing I pick up, is it the same thing that I originally had? Like, if the second can that I pick up, is it still
yes,
veggie paste?
yes.
Okay.
All we have left is the things we don't like to eat, which
Okay,
is
at
veggie
that
paste.
point,
Yeah, that nobody
yeah.
wants.
yeah, I just grab it and I throw it at the intercom, like the box, and I just go like, and I just yell, yeah.
If anybody convenes in the mess area, you'll see Sewell surrounded by open veggie paste cans. He has to take his mask off to eat.
Just
can't
dozens of open
disease.
cans. The real reason we're low on rations is because Paul keeps eating the cans of fucking veggie paste.
Sewell,
Yeah, fuck
Sewell
that guy,
keeps eating
Paul.
the cans.
No, it's Paul. Paul
me put
broke
that
into
back.
space.
I look like,
Uh,
dude, I
I'm
look
saying
like
he's now being dead.
Oh god. Godly.
Okay.
Editing note. Cut that, Jay.
editing note. Thank you.
I think Malik would be on the bridge, I guess, because he was doing comm stuff and tracking and annoyingly doing the boop. I don't see anything. So I think that's where he is. And he just kind of like looks over to Tal and goes, "What the shit?"
Well,
We just got attacked by a space cloud. We just blew up a prison and got attacked by a space cloud.
I've stopped asking. I really don't know what you want from me at this point, Malik.
I think I'm just talking out loud at this point.
Maybe you all of you probably you're probably talking too loud so everybody can hear you.
Yeah, or
I
the
mean,
comms
the comms
button.
are still
Yeah,
on.
the comms
Yeah.
is still
Just,
open.
Are they
open
on?
comms,
Okay, I would like to press my button, and I'd be like, yeah, thanks for that.
Hey, you gotta
You're
thank
welcome. Hey, Tamir, are you still alive back there? All right, I'm coming.
I don't know
What the fuck was that?
I don't quite know, but I just get up and start
Wait,
walking to the
I pressed the
mechanical
button,
rooms to
Tamir?
make sure that he's okay.
Are you out? Fuck, damn it.
Oh my god.
Are you serious? I'm done.
Alia,
Okay.
I imagine this is the most anybody has spoken to one another
Yep.
in months. On
Oh,
this
do I
festival.
see Alia?
I think Alio, I forget where she was last before everything went to shit.
I mean, yeah, I was about to say the ship went into basically overdrive to get out of the way of whatever that weird cloud was, but
That's the
right.
That's the tagline for this whole show. I forget what I was doing before everything went to shit.
You're not wrong.
No, I remember. I think I was with Joey. Sorry, I was sorry.
The engineer?
I was with Tamir, right? Like, because we both just rescued Soul, and we just came back onto the ship before we punched it. And I don't know if we got a chance to move it or go anywhere else from there.
well, then I imagine if you're in the kind of main area, you very plainly see Sewell moving through the cans of veggie paste.
Do I see her?
Oh, if I see you, you see me.
I drop my veggie paste and I slowly turn my head towards the newcomer. Who the fuck are you?
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you too. Hi. Apparently, your rescuer.
Tal? And I'm gonna start running towards the cockpit.
Just for everybody, as a reminder, tell us what Sewell would have seen Alia standing there looking like.
Oh well, I mean, I would imagine she's still in her space suit. So you probably just see her face. So as her face, she's
Yeah.
dark skinned. Her hair is tied up. Well, usually it's up in like a bun that's in a mohawk style shape with golden tattoos on the sides where it's like slightly shaved. So right now though, that's like tied up in a bun so it can fit inside. It could have fit inside the space helmet. Pretty much space Zarya. Yeah. So like you see like a 6'8".
6'8". Fuck it. Yeah, I'm running. I'm dipping.
She's
Yeah,
huge.
she's a
Yeah.
big lady.
I'm
She's a
immediately
big
running
lady.
to my room, and I'm just gonna grab whatever weapon I can grab from there.
Oh shit.
I imagine you all see Sewell. Yeah, I imagine you all see Sewell dive for his room. You know that dive.
Sewell.
Nobody
Hey,
stops Sewell
no,
as he
Sewell.
emerges with a weapon.
Absolutely not. Sewell, I
No, that just seems like regular Sewell.
Nope. No.
How? One of the prisoners got
No.
on.
Nope.
Giant.
Nope.
What other prisoner got on?
Sewell. Absolutely not. Put
I have
that
a clean
away.
shot.
No, put that away. That is Alia.
You're right. I'm
She's
sorry. We're in space. Where's my knife? I'm gonna start
Sewell.
looking for my knife.
Sewell.
I think you just
I
hear
just-
like,
I walked straight up.
are you kidding me?
What does Tal do?
I walked straight up to Sewell and I slapped him across the face. Sewell.
I get like a shock. Like,
Absolutely not.
okay. I just like kind of
Alia?
calm down for a minute.
Ali is part of the crew now. There will be no violence towards her.
Oh, part of. I like lean over. My bad.
Usual. I'm used to it.
I just like look at Tal like, my bad. Sorry. And then I just kind of I like kick all the weapons I dragged out of my room just to like shove it back into my room and I just close the door.
Well,
Low
That was
to you
eventful.
too. Yes. I'm sorry about that, Alia.
it's all right. Stressful day.
Just another day at the office, you know. I continue walking to the mechanical room to make sure Tamir's not dead or something.
Tamir, I imagine you hear all this because nobody's really being quietness over the comms. A voice emerges in your head that simply says, "Do they always fight like this?"
Yes, always. Can you please calculate what it's going, how many pounds per pressure it's going to take to fix this? And
Your heart is beating very quickly. I think you should sit down.
I would like to sit down, but if we don't get this under control, there's going to be nothing to sit on. So,
Oh, okay. And then here's like,
Calculation.
yeah, and it just like starts. It'll take it a minute to calculate. You hear the sound of feet. You know those feet.
Malik.
What do I see when I walk in?
Oh, I was gonna say Malik hits a few buttons
Yeah,
on
that
the
would-
on
yeah.
the screen and like runs a system diagnostic. A series of buttons he's seen Tamir do, and then he just initiates and gets up and walks out of the bridge and just sort of nonchalantly walks down the hallway.
Tau, you see Tamir working on the main reactor.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, we're fixing. I mean, you have to imagine there's got to be like sparks and just smoke and steam. It is hot, and yet there's like probably pockets of cold from areas that have just completely stopped working, and just all sorts of stuff that shouldn't be happening right now. He's totally fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's just fixing everything as fast as he possibly can.
I will.
Are you
assent,
trying to hide the fact that you are not doing well?
No. I think it's just typical Tamir. It's just Tamir under pressure.
Okay,
This
great.
is-
That's all I
this
needed
is
to know.
Tamir's reaction.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is him handling it really well.
Tal will essentially just pick up tools and jump in to assist. They've actually done this before in a different system running from something else. So she just jumps in and starts trying to assist him in getting the reactor under control.
Okay, well, let's get a roll then.
Oh,
Sounds to me like the
no.
pressure is literally on. It's pressing down on me. It's pressing down on you. It's
I did a note. Please remove that too.
Okay, well, first things first. This is where we're gonna get into some mechanics, and I've been reading YouTube in our downtime. I've been catching up on all the comments on YouTube, and one of the things that has come up is some questions regarding the rules. So I wanted to highlight a couple of things that I do as a GM that aren't necessarily like hard and fast rules, and then the things that are as we move through the season. The first one is how I use the cards. So yeah, how I use the cards. Everybody draw one for your icon. If your character is no longer aligned or does not feel like they pray to an icon, you do not get an icon specialty and you do not get to draw a card. We'll go ahead and play the cards. Y'all can play them down here if you scroll to the bottom, just below. Yeah. You can drag and drop them from your hand.
Oh, I can't.
If anybody is unable to do that, let me
you
know
gotta
and I'll
shuffle.
shuffle.
I didn't even think about
Okay, let me shuffle some things. Shuffling. Shuffling. Wait, is it shuffle. Shuffle.
Actually, no, he would. I'm down. Let's
Okay.
do it.
I think I've shuffled everybody.
I got a card.
Oops, I'm sorry, I took it back. Do it again.
I have it. It's right there.
Oh, you do. You have it. Okay, great.
There it
Just
is,
make sure
yeah.
you play it on the play it up top. Perfect. That's great. Yeah, play
Yeah,
it.
mine is the
All right, what have we got?
blue one.
I'm gonna have to zoom in my eyeyesight, y'all.
Right? I was just doing
Glasses
that.
aren't just
That's
for show.
We all
Okay.
just did that.
I literally just physically moved forward.
Yeah, same though.
Y'all, what is with this? Okay, we've got now we have 5 cards in play. So the way
What?
that I use these when I'm in an extended campaign is I spend darkness points basically to activate them. So we have 2 corruption bars, which oftentimes I use in place of darkness points, and in this case we've got 2. So I will aim, my goal is to play 2 of these cards before the end of today's session, which include Jinn, Desert, Blood, a Healer, and Asteroid. Some of these seem rather poignant. So I won't tell all of you what I'm playing, but that's how it is. So a roll to see if you can get the reactor under control. And I will allow Tal to assist you, which will give you a +1 basically to the roll as like a modifier.
Okay.
Tamir.
Okay. I'm assuming
So
you want
let's
tech.
get your technology roll. Yep.
Okay.
In this case, technology is based on your wits, which is a really good pool for you.
Ooh, 2 limited success.
2 limited. Hey, pretty doggone good. With the extra hands is really what you needed. It's like anytime you try to tie a bow, it's just a lot easier when you have another finger to hold down the center point. And just like that, Tal's hands come in and hold something in place that allow you to finish tightening down that last section that is just like seeping steam. And as it tightens off, you can kind of hear like the line markers of red and yellow kind of balance out and things go back to a level of normal. And the whole kind of shuddering of the vessel comes to a little bit of a halt. And you can breathe.
Thank you, Tal. Are you okay?
Fine. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. He like wipes. He's just sweating.
Tal grabs a towel from her back pocket and starts blotting his face with it. That was close. Thanks.
Thank you. I mean, you're the one that got us out of this.
Well, that boost from the engines really helped. So
I feel like it's only comedically appropriate for Malik to be on the door to the reactor room, just like leaning on the door jamb. And he just kind of goes, "You guys are adorable."
Tal's face hardens as she turns.
There's
to look
just
at
like
him.
a finger, whatever the equivalent of the Coriolis
think-
finger.
You
I
guys,
think it would be just as appropriate that Sul
no.
is creepily behind Malik.
just standing
It's
there.
kind of like eating the veggie, kind of like behind. Like,
Yeah, there's a smacking of veggie paste.
what am I watching here?
Oh, that noise in my head.
I'm pretty sure that either Tal or Tamir are trying to put the moves on the other one. I think they're gonna make out. You guys gonna make out, or are you gonna do?
It doesn't.
What kind of moves are they fighting?
Alia, looking over his head, it doesn't at all look like that. It looks like
No, it's
there
like
has
a-
been a major issue with the reactor, and you know that
like a-
Tal and Tamir, having lived with them now for quite a few months, in fact, on this vessel,
Longer than any of the rest of them.
Rude,
any of the rest of them, they're
Unnecessary point.
definitely working.
rude, KP. Rude.
Very unnecessary.
No. They're not fighting. I think they're like, it's like an intimate moment that we're invading.
All
here.
right.
I see. I'm going to go make some tea.
What?
Can I have a cup too, please?
I got it.
Extra
Same-
gold for
same
me,
amount?
Alia, please.
Yes.
Something
Sorry?
crankshaft. I don't know space parts.
I just slurp on the veggie.
And in a few minutes, like Ayo comes back actually with like a tray with like
Yes.
I'm assuming like assorted different like mugs because none of them look the same.
Yeah,
And with just like
the
a-
sets
a-
have been broken over the years. This is what's remaining.
Yeah, and so like she goes up and hands Tal and Tamir their cups and she goes, usual amount of sugar. And then kind of just adds everything, gives it to them, and then comes over to Malik and Sul goes, I didn't know which one you would like, so I kind of just did my personal blend, but let me know if this is something. I also have some sugar. So if
Blend
you
of
want some
what?
more. Of tea.
Malik,
Just on my own.
Malik takes the teacup and then again leans back. Tal,
What?
did we like hit it big?
No. Not
What?
really.
I like lean to Malik. What is tea?
It's a drink. I know we've introduced you to each other, Alia, but I don't. Is she a space butler?
No.
No.
I haven't seen her do anything. She just shows up with tea
Okay.
and
Okay.
praise.
I take a cup and start drinking.
I was
the
about to
tea.
say, okay, who drinks?
I do.
All right,
I get everyone
Alia.
drinks.
I want you to roll an empathy check.
Oh, I thought you were about to say.
Okay.
Like, I was like, am I gonna throw up? What the hell?
I want you
Wow,
to roll an
episode
empathy
one,
check.
and Alia just poisoned us all.
Also, if you want to add it with a culture check,
Roll for murder.
tea, is an important. Yeah, roll for instant.
Okay.
Over.
So glad I got broken out.
Yeah, make a culture roll. I'll be interested
Okay.
because if you succeed,
Mhm.
I have
Oh.
a plan. Well, no, not you. Not
Oh.
you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alia.
Yay, culture.
There we go.
And then empathy. Do you want also the empathy?
Nope, that's perfect. The one success is all I needed. Sul,
Yeah, what's up?
Yay.
big gulp of this warm tea. If you have any damage to your mind at the moment, if you have any mind points, you can subtract one. This tea is so calming that any of the stress that you may have been feeling seems to dissipate just a little bit. As Malik's going, I don't even know what she does here. Immediately you feel very chill and very taken care of.
Whoa. Tea's
Wow.
great.
Tal just leans up against the wall, holding her teacup in one hand and the saucer in the other. Takes a sip and says, "Now you know what she does here."
I just chug it, by the way.
Anybody that drinks the tea also gets the benefit of the -1 to the mind points.
I'm still not
including
clear.
yourself, Alia.
It still just sounds like she brings tea. What do you... I'm sorry. What do you do here?
Hey, don't question the tea master. What are you doing? This is amazing.
That's not what... That's not
Malik.
That's not a ship title.
Malik.
I'm willing to take that title.
Phenomenal. And I keep drinking.
Welcome.
I've been absent for a minute, but we've done some shit. You can't just make tea.
Malik, Alia is Priestess Sholi's student.
Shit, you just make tea.
May I?
Okay.
Well,
Okay. All right.
she does more than that.
Wait.
She's also
Well, to start, I can bless things. I can bless the ship. I can provide more assurance for the success of the mission. In that sense, I can,
What?
as you can see, attribute myself to a bit more of a physical space more than any of you. So I can perhaps work in negotiation. Ultimately, I'm here to help take care of you all in any sense I can, and also help you in this mission for the emissary.
As Alia's talking, I'm slowly just putting the teacup back on the tray.
That's a lot to unpack. First of all, you said physically inclined and negotiate. I don't think those mean the same thing that you think it means.
More of, let's say, I'm knowing my stature and my physical presence. Me just standing in a place tends to help in a certain direction more so than the other. So it's more of a assurance, you would say.
So you think you could take her?
What? Fuck. What?
For example,
He's
and I just
6'8".
Alia just walks. She's 6'8" and buff as fuck. So like she just at this point, for example, and then she just walks up and then comes right up in front of you and just stares down at you.
So
I just look away.
wow,
I like
3 to
walk.
1.
I walk away and make my way towards Tal.
you're an assassin. You're a literal assassin.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna
Okay. I get it. You make tea and you're big.
I take
All right.
my point as proof.
About
All right,
this
well-
time, and I'll say, Sul, it's you. You head upstairs. Is that what you just said?
I go in any direction that is
I
not
think
in that
it's
conflict.
time to play a card.
Oh, balls.
We're gonna
I
play. the
lied. I
Jin
go back.
Card,
Oh,
fuck.
great.
my favorite
Thanks.
card.
Oh, there we go.
This ship flipped and dove through an asteroid belt recently with great success, given Tal's skills. But there's still some things that weren't strapped down.
Right.
Malik, where is the canister?
I don't like this question. This feels very pointed. It's
It's
was very
definitely
pointed.
under his pillow.
It's not. It's very
It
much
is.
not. It is. It would have been in the room on the floor in like a what would look like kind of like a pile of clothes, basically. But it's like a
Yes.
like a nest.
Like a nest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like a little
so
nest.
cute.
Great. Well,
It's only
However,
cute
it
because you
just
don't
went
know what's wrong with
through-
it.
I don't. I really don't.
yep, some bangs up and beat some ups. So, as you head up the stairs, I will play the Jin card using one of our corruption bars, and you hear a clattering. The sound of stuff being like knocked over, and snarl isn't the right word, but there's noises coming from upstairs. You are pretty sure
That scared the shit out of me.
that you've accounted for I was about to say you are pretty sure that you have accounted for every person on this vessel downstairs.
Is there a object I can use as a weapon near me? It could be whatever.
Did you still have your knife, or did you leave that in your bunk?
I threw everything in the bunk. I didn't want to get yelled at anymore.
I don't know. Along the way, you see like a wrench or something.
I pick up the wrench and I will walk towards the kickoff.
Joey's causing backstage chaos. So, okay, you walk up the stairs. It gets louder, and you can hear the sound of feet kind of thudding on sterile floor. And it's coming from Malik's bedroom.
Question: Do I? And this is Paul asking because I actually have a really bad memory. Do I remember what happened, or do I think that
you would know that the last time you saw Lamara, she was sucked into a jar?
Gotcha. Okay.
To replace the life of Priestess Sholi, who
Gotcha.
remember was dying on Kua when y'all remember you rode the boxes down and you saved everybody and then you blew that facility up.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. I'm gonna tap on Malik's door and just so gently say hello.
When you tap, the noises stop.
Fuck it. I'm opening the door.
As the door slides open, I'm gonna have you roll.
Of course you are.
I'm gonna have you roll. I would like you to roll an observation.
Oh, okay,
you should be
cool.
pretty good at this, but roll an observation.
I should be pretty good at a lot of things. I'm usually not. So.
Hey, you kind of look around and
I
at
stand
first you're like, oh, I
corrected.
don't see anything. And then what do I want to do here? And then something drops from the ceiling.
Well, I will jump back and be like,
I was like, you could have jumped back. A small plastic medical card, like ID card, plops to the ground. And your eyes, I imagine, being like you are, and looks up at the ceiling, and you see Lamara, but she is attached to the ceiling on all fours. Her head is turned around backwards, and she stares down at you with this kind of gazed look. Her eyes are jet black, and her teeth seem to have a jagged edge to it. And she simply looks at you and goes, "Ah!" And she goes to jump for you.
all right, so this is where I die. Okay. So, yeah, I'm
What would
gonna.
you like? I'm gonna give you a reaction.
I mean, I'm gonna
to
go
react.
into instantly just switch back to combat mode.
Do you close the door?
Oh, I'm gonna jump back, fuck out. What do you mean?
Okay. Okay. No, I don't mean. Do you close the door on your end, like on the opposite side of?
Oh
from-
yeah. I'm gonna try to just be like.
She drops. You see, like she drops to the ground and begins moving towards you in a rather unnatural
Oh,
way.
God, I
You
can
could
just
hear
imagine
her
like
bones,
the ring.
crunching.
You know the ring.
Yeah, very
Oh, fuck that,
similar.
dude.
She kind of crawls across the floor. We'll say since she dropped her tag, she slips a little bit along the way, and you manage to hit the button and the door close, and you hear her body slam against it.
So for a moment, I'm going to just kind of like, I'm kind of in shock, right? And I'm just gonna be like, is there like a lock feature, or is it just like open and close?
Yeah. You could like boop 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 boop. You lock it from the outside. There are safety features.
Mhm.
Sure, you lock it from the outside. We'll say.
I'm gonna fucking run
Actually,
back.
Give me no. You got to make a roll for that.
I have to roll
'Cause
to
you're
fucking press
basically breaking
buttons.
the door.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
no. We got to know. Do you know how to program the door to lock perma?
Actually,
on
no.
one
I
side? So
I,
make a
I
data gen
wouldn't.
roll.
I would not. I can't do a data gen roll.
It doesn't. If it means anything, it doesn't seem like whatever it is knows how to open the door.
Okay.
'Cause
I
you
don't
can hear
think.
it beating on the door, but
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah.
I don't think Soul would be smart enough to try to like lock it. So I'm gonna just close it, and I'm sorry. Based off of his reaction, I'm going to slam the keypad and just I'm gonna smack it with the wrench. I'm sorry, pal. Please don't
You
kill
know what?
me.
That is such the perfect Sewell way to handle this. You lob off the keypad to the door to Malik's bedroom. Lamara is now trapped inside.
And then I'm just gonna run back.
There's a voice that comes over the intercom downstairs. Captain, I do not mean to alarm you, but Sewell has locked something inside of Malik's bedroom.
Something. What's something, Sally? I put the
Run.
tea
There is a new
down
life
next
form,
to
a
me
bo-
on the counter and start running towards Malik's room.
Why are you in my room?
Tell.
The two of you almost collide as you come like up and down like a flight of a ladder. You kind of look up and you can see the two of you are headed the same direction. The rest
So what
of you
are we
also
doing?
see that.
Yeah, demon monster in Malik's room.
What?
Yeah, I heard. I don't know. There was. Yeah, don't know. Literally what I just said. Monster in his room.
I
Monster.
start going past him to go towards
Wait.
Malik's room.
I'm gonna run behind. I'm gonna follow behind.
Tamir,
Does anybody else follow?
Yeah, is anybody behind
Yeah.
me or?
Malik is very much behind.
Malik, what the fuck did you have in your room?
I didn't have anything in my room. Why are you in my room?
Why do you have a monster in your room?
There isn't a monster in my room.
Sally, do a
Why are
scan.
you in
What
it?
is in there?
From what I can tell, it is another life form. It seems to be feral in some way.
See, feral life form. That's a monster.
What did it look like?
I don't know.
Scanning. Do you have cameras in your room, Malik?
Yeah, Malik, turn the cameras on.
Would there be cameras in every room?
That's up to you. I imagine that
Would
Malik would
Malik
deck his
have
room out
them?
differently. Do you have cameras? on your
Malik
bed?
Malik would not have added cameras to his room.
I don't think Tao would put cameras in every room, just
'Kay.
because she
Then it simply says
believes in privacy. Main
the
areas.
life form
yes.
is roughly 5'3", seems to have a large head of hair, jagged teeth, and is walking on all fours.
That is a monster.
Well,
what would you?
yep.
Fuck this. I'm gonna start walking towards my room to grab a gun.
Well, do you have your drone? We can just put it through the ventilation system and get some eyes in there. Welcome back.
Do I have my drone?
Yes, it's in your room.
Oh, okay.
We even fixed it for you.
Oh,
True.
okay. I would go into my room. I would also.
There it is, bright and shiny.
I would give Tamir like a nice. I would like in my fit of confusion. I like pause, and I just give Tamir a little shoulder pat, and then I just walk forward. And I want to grab my drone, and I don't know if I have any weapons or anything in my bunk.
Everything that you left
Everything?
behind, all those,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
left it
Everything
all
was-
there.
Everything was exactly as you
Mhm.
left it. Anything that
clean.
yeah, it was
Probably cleaner.
clean.
They cleaned my room.
Anything that was fixed is or anything that was broken is now fixed and
Fuck
in a
yeah. Okay,
place.
cool.
Everything's there.
I'll bring
So-
my
These
drone
things-
and my my mercury blade.
So
Yeah.
when Sewell walks away, Malik looks to Tal and says, "Okay, look. Yeah, I'm gonna go in. If I don't know, you hear screaming, open the door."
I point to the very obviously broken door code and say, "Congratulations. How are you getting in?"
The fuck? And he like reaches into his back and like pulls out his tablet and like beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop
Yeah,
beep boop.
you connect like two loose wires
Yeah.
to the security pad. If you're actually using a security,
Actually, I think I have one. I have a security
I
thing.
was about to say, if you have one, that's all you're doing is hacking the door.
Yeah, I do.
So you get a +1 to the tech roll, or I'm sorry, the
Okay.
data general.
Alrighty.
Actually,
Let's see
I'd take
here.
either, honestly.
One success.
That's all you needed. It takes you a second, but he didn't damage the actual functionality of the door, just the piece
Just
that makes
the
it work.
yeah.
The
So-
keypad. So
Malik's gonna try to like open it a little bit and then like kind of slide in and close it behind him.
yeah, you see. I imagine you leave the data pad behind so they can open and close the door.
That's a good question. I don't
Did
think he
you wire-
does. I don't think he. Yeah, if it's wired to it, yeah. In that case, you did say it was wired, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
wired to it.
dangling there. Yeah.
I imagine the door slides at like a, it's like 20% open, 30%. Like you can like slide it open and close, and you slide it a little bit, you slip in. You see that this whole room, your whole room is destroyed. It looks like some kind of pressurized system went off in here. Everything's been like blown back. Your furniture is damaged. what little bits you had. Every screen in this room is broken. And she has tossed every piece of clothes you have everywhere. She's bleeding. Physically, she's bleeding because I don't know, like broken glass and some stuff from the monitors and whatnot. But like she's kind of off in the corner. You can see her kind of like a cockroach stuck to the wall.
Gross stat. I don't like any part of this. Yeah, I think he just kind of slides
You
in
came in here.
and then like closes the door behind him and like assesses the horror story. Hey. How you feeling?
Her head kind of tips.
Who? Okay. Who am I?
Cuts outside to
Yeah,
to
go
the
ahead.
drone. To the drone. Going into the room so y'all can see what's going on.
I
The
turn on
drone,
my little
kind of-
pad and then I let everyone watch.
Clatters a little bit. It's
Scoobies,
been a
right?
while since it's been turned
Watching
on.
over.
Yes.
So yeah, exactly. And you come down and you're looking down at the situation. She is pinned to the corner. All of you can see it over. I imagine you're all like Scooby ganged around his arm. As you're like looking at this arm screen. Her mouth is open, her teeth are kind of jagged. Alia, make a culture check. It's time. It's time for those beautiful culture checks that nobody could make. Oh yeah, you're muted, KP.
There we go. All right.
There we go.
Culture. There you go. Please be good. Did I click?
There you go.
Oh, there
It
we
takes-
go.
it takes a
Hey!
2 limited success. You have read and heard stories of creatures all over the Third Horizon. That is what Sholey made you do. You followed her, you saw things, and you read stuff. And then sometimes you wrote stuff if it was new information. You cataloged what is happening here in the Third Horizon. There are the occasional story that our bodies are just vessels and become possessed by something otherworldly or otherly, we'll just say. It seems that whoever the orange-haired woman is in the doctor's jacket in this room is more than likely, based on the drawings that you've seen in a few clips of videos, that she's possessed in some way.
That don't look normal.
That's Lamara.
What? Oh, fuck.
The rest of you would know that that looks like Lamara, minus the whole stuck to the wall and backwards head thing.
What the fuck happened to her?
Hamura.
Alia, this is the woman we've been talking to you about that we're trying to get out of the jar.
Well, okay. She takes a moment to process and goes, that may be a bit of a bigger problem.
That was actually next.
Pretty sure
on
this
the
is a
list.
form of... I see. Well,
Form
this is
of-
new.
Alia, you would know as well. You were given a book, as long as Malik handed
What?
it over. Nope. Well,
Malik has no idea who the hell she is yet.
great.
I was getting there.
The camera cuts back in to Malik slowly approaching her. in the
Yeah,
corner.
he has like his hands out, and he's like, if the drone is like overhead, you can see like his one foot will take a step forward, but it's like tapping around like a cane, and then he steps forward, and the
Yeah.
other foot taps forward,
little
and you
bit.
can tell that he's clearly looking for something, and so he's looking with his feet for the canister, which he knows must have fallen over somewhere or toppled or is something.
Okay, and you're wanting to do it without cueing her in some way. right?
Yeah. So I don't know if you want an observation or a infiltration.
Okay, I'll give you one of two. If you roll the infiltration, that's actually searching for it. You have a chance to find it. The observation is only going to show you where it is.
Okay. Yeah, I
Not
think.
that you actually get it in hand.
Yeah, I think he's just feeling around for it. So I'll give you an infiltration, which is 2 successes.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You feel your toe hit. You know this canister.
Mm-hmm.
It's all you had stranded on a junk planet for 3 freaking months.
That's true.
You know this canister inside and out. You bump it with your toe. There's some clothing over it, but you manage to like bump it, and we'll say you even managed to like soccer roll it like backwards a little bit between your feet.
Yeah. I think he like again like still like one hand out, kind of like crouches down, and goes to pick it up.
I'm gonna.
What are you gonna have me do?
When you start moving more than just like moving forward, she scutters a little bit like up the wall, towards the ventilation shaft.
I think while he's doing it, he's gonna be like, okay, hey, and he like looks at the drone like for a second. What's your name?
Would you like to make I will take a command or an empathy check. I'll give you a +1 because it's Lamara.
I don't have command. I have manipulate.
Then just roll. Okay. I'll take manipulate. It's an empathy, still an empathy check. You're trying to manipulate it into believing.
With a +1 for Lamara. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, +1 for Lamara.
2 successes.
Okay. So far, you've not startled it. It does scutter a little bit, as if maybe you could startle it, but you manage to keep it under control. It still stares at you. Its head's upside down. Its eyes are black and mad.
Perfect. Cool. Does it answer? Or does it just make that noise?
Does not. It continues to make that noise.
Great. Fantastic. He like finishes getting the thing and then slowly stands back up. He says, "Hey, he's just making idle conversation, or at least trying to, as the canister is behind his back, and then he just fumbles around, like using like his hip and his hand to like find the mechanism that he saw Tamir activate. That he knows where it is, and he's trying to open the canister."
Okay, this is fun. You have to be a mystic to open the canister.
Dope.
Because it's a mystical canister.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you're like, y'all see this from above. He's standing right below the vent. She's off in the corner. He's got the canister and he's like fuddling with it, trying to get it open.
What is he doing?
Trying to get themselves killed is what he's
Should we
doing.
should we do something?
Alia, what do you know about this? You obviously know something.
From my research, that is a form of possession. I don't know what it is possessed by. I don't know what you have faced before this. I don't know if that... You said that was a human being before, right?
Yes, that was our medical doctor.
Okay. That is some medical doctor. That is, at this moment, dangerous. Is what you need to know. We need to And that canister is, I'm assuming, an artifact of some sort.
Yes.
I have a question. Is Malik's back like right up against the door?
No, he's a little into the room.
Okay. Never mind. Continue.
We need to open that canister and get her back inside. Now.
Tamir, can you open this door?
Sure, and can he get his
No,
hands?
the pad's right there. Tal offers the pad.
He immediately goes to put his hands up there. Is
Tamir.
Tal like,
Tamir.
Oh,
Here.
Fuck, what happened to you?
You operate the door. I'll get it open.
At this point,
waited
can
the
I-
door to
Alia?
rush in
Yeah.
the room and open it.
Okay.
So it's just to be clear, the door is functional and just not open?
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
closed, like
never
he
mind then.
locked himself inside.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
It's
How?
closed, and we have an iPad that we can just go and open it.
As soon as the door opens, I'll try to run in and see if
No.
I can help.
No.
Tal just
Sorry.
No.
If Sewell runs in, does anybody want to try to grab Sewell?
Oh,
You
no,
can
I mean,
make-
I
you
got-
can
Alia
post
grabs.
dexterities.
Alia goes to grab.
Okay, I need opposed
It's kinda just-
dexterities.
Okay.
I'll take a force as well, but dexterity definitely from
Okay, I'm gonna do force.
Can I try to counter that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can roll a dexterity, or you can roll a dexterity.
Meanwhile, Tal's just trying
God
to
damn
get
it.
the door to open the
It's
thing.
fast. It's fast. Door's open. I mean, as long as you slit it open, it's open.
Okay. Can I run in behind Malik and just open the canister, please?
You can sure try. Are you just literally running into the room?
Yeah. As soon as the door opens, Tal runs in because I positioned myself. Yes, I know.
I was about to say the creature
That's a
in the
Doc
corner goes
question.
and will leap. You can grab it from his hands.
Yeah, it's behind his
You
back.
can grab it from his hands
I'm
and
essentially
roll a
just going
mystic
straight for it.
power.
Okay.
Yep, roll a mystic ability as you get it in your hands, but it has like dived off the walls.
Beautiful.
We'll say.
Limited success.
It works. The canister open.
Does the creature go in?
Does anybody else want to take an action?
Do I see the creature jumping for Tal?
You see it jumping for Talon Malik.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get in between them.
I think Malik just holds the canister. Like as soon as he feels it open, he just puts it in front of him.
It's
I don't know
in
the
Tal's
order. I
hands.
don't know
Hold
the
it
order of
forward.
things happening, but like his response is
Yeah, it
if
has to
he
be in
sees-
Tal's hands.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in Tal's hands. Tal is opening the canister and trying
Yep.
to
Oh, okay.
hold it
When
towards
you
the
I
creature.
gotcha.
you open it up, you feel that power of it begin to like shake. The creature still jumps for you.
KP said Alia wanted to do something too.
Oh no, I was
Oh,
well. I didn't know if I can
yes.
help in some way, like
With the canister, you
would-
mean?
yeah. Because the only other alternative
Man.
I could think at that moment is just try to punch it away to make space.
Yeah, you can. You definitely great. Yeah, let's punch Lamar. This will be perfect. I love this. You can. You see it begin to suck, like she like hits what's left of the bed and like rips kind of across as she dives for probably Tal. The canister begins to suck her in. You see this, Alia. Kind of like the vacuum would might dust, but it doesn't seem to be going very quickly. And she's fighting it rather hard.
Okay. Is there any way I can help with speeding it up?
She is actively like she's like throwing furniture, and she's successfully keeping herself away. You're welcome to roll another mystic ability if you run in the room and put your hands on the jar.
Okay.
I just want to run in and just stand next to him.
Okay.
Great.
I'm gonna
She's gonna
roll
make
for
an
mist.
attack
God damn it.
on.
No,
you go in. She's fighting, and you can see Tao. I imagine it kind of looks like the ghost, but Tao is like it's
Don't
slinging
cross
Tao
the
kind of all which
streams.
directions. Yeah, don't cross the streams. There's only one good. But yeah, it's not going so great.
You could pray to the icons, KP. Don't forget.
You could
that's for some darkness points.
give me another darkness point. You said.
Oh, trust me, you'll be given a lot.
At
Just
this-
accept
No, I
it.
was about to be like, at this
She's
point,
only
doesn't
got
even
8.
matter.
Doesn't even matter. Wow.
Just because of the number of
I'm not
points you
working
have.
hard enough if it doesn't matter.
Why would you say that?
No, don't tempt her.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
great. Now
no
she-
jokes, KP.
She has,
There's no jokes.
She has a tablet now,
Rewind.
so there's no way she's gonna
Rewind.
lose that
No,
paper.
I'm not losing track of it this time. Okay. All right.
Oh no, I'm not saying you lost it. I'm just saying there's so many. It doesn't
Well,
matter
as-
if I add one more.
That is your decision.
All right, I'm gonna pray to the icons and then
Okay.
try it once more.
roll
Because if
it.
this doesn't work, I have an alternative
Yeah.
plan B.
Yes. Tao is like
Yay.
whipped away from you for a second. And you reach out and put, I imagine, your body kind of around hers inside to hold the both of you still. And as you do, it begins to pull ever more on this woman. And now Alia, you get a good look at the creature, not through a small like HUD screen, but like really a good look. It's a woman. She's human. Kind of small and petite. Orange hair, and she does wear kind of what at one point was a medic's outfit. It's worn and dirty and torn now. And her eyes are jet black. You've only ever seen eyes like that once before. On a child. Years ago when you attempted to escape Yuharu. But it is successful. And as you finish sucking this creature in, Malik, she is going to make an attack on you with 2 successes. Are you wearing any armor?
You did.
I did. Was that where the words?
No, she is. She's wearing Malik's armor.
She is wearing Malik's armor. You're right. She is
how
wearing
ironic.
Malik's armor. You'll just take a point of damage as she's like pulling and clawing, and she sees you. You think she sees you, and at that last moment before her body is fully like pulled in, the blackness like leaves her eyes, and you see it is Lamar, and she reaches for you, and she scratches you down the face and down your neck, and like a final swipe as pulls it in, and the 2 of them cap the canister, and it turns bright red again. The 2 of you feel it; it is vibrating constantly, just like it's like a PlayStation controller, just like.
I think there's like a second. And then Malik turns, and you can see like the fingernail marks, and he just reaches out and puts his hand on the canister, like he's going to take it away from you.
Malik.
Alia's gonna hold firm.
Yeah, Tal is too. Malik.
What the?
Can't let the. You couldn't open this canister. We can't let this go. We can't let this sit in your room anymore.
Let it go.
We need
If I may.
to find a way to get her out. And Alia is our expert in this matter.
That's
That
fine.
is why she's here.
I will say, my personal opinion, it is fine to stay here. I think, in the sense that, in my personal opinion, I feel you have some form of an attachment to this lady. And from my understanding, emotions, particularly positive emotions, are what prevents or what is the antithesis to what I'm assuming this is the process of becoming a jinn. So I think, if anything, it has slowed it down by being here. However, we need to take additional precautions because it cannot be sitting out about in the open that can be just tipped over and then opened up like this.
It wasn't out and about. It was secure until we flipped the ship over.
Fair point.
What are you an expert in?
Well, you asked what I was here for. I could help with this.
How?
In my years of research, and I cannot make any promises, but from what I've learned, there may actually be a method to reversing this effect. It takes a bit of a ritual. It takes a bit of an unknown process or a long lost process. But it's a chance.
Alia,
And I
you would
believe
know
you
this
actually-
process is. I was about to say, you would know that this process has been lost to time.
Mhm.
Malik, did you tell them you got this book?
Nope.
So you have no idea he has it. You just know that it's lost.
Do I know the person's name or any of it? Like the
You would know that Priestess Sholey told you. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but there was a man, a
Mhm.
mystic, who made it his kind of righteous journey to collect everything that he could from technically the First Horizon's religions and spiritualities, and sometimes even the obscure and kind of weird. But he collected them all in a book and died with his arms wrapped around it. Nobody knows where he ended up.
so Alia would know all of that. Is it? So
You
Alia
would know that
mention
that was the fate of the book. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So I would mention that. I was like, so it's a long shot, but there is a legend of a book, of a man who, in a book, collected all the lost faiths and all the lost texts, or at least what he could scavenge over the years of his travels, and collected it in one spot. And perhaps in said book, there could be some form of ritual. There are talks of rituals that were performed to prevent this exact thing. I have been in search of said book. Unfortunately, the man who was collecting it has been rumored to have died somewhere with the book still in hand, so I don't know. That is the only chance or option that I know of that I can offer you at this moment. But if I can find it, if we can find it, I can work through it and perhaps do what I can.
Where was it lost?
No one really knows.
Question. Isn't that the bit of info that Tamir found for Malik?
Yes, that was given to you by 2-Bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, you did find that information. Passed it along, so you would at least know that as well. That there was, yes, that was told to you.
I also have a question. Isn't that, well, since Tamir knows where the book was rumored to be, and that's actually where we picked up Malik, correct? Okay.
As long as Tamir looked at whatever was on that data stick that was headed to Malik, then he would have at least some knowledge or information about why Malik went there to begin with.
What did it look
Chris
like?
didn't say anything though.
I mean, you're asking me what a book looked like. Just a bunch of paper on pages, bound perhaps in leather. I don't know. Would I know that?
He reaches into his shamag and like pulls up a necklace and then over his head. Do you know what this is?
Roll a
And
culture check.
It's whatever that priest was wearing.
Yeah, you can roll a culture check.
Oh. All right. Big money, big money. Yeah, big money.
Okay, it is a symbol that occasionally appears in the writings of the First Horizon spiritual books. We know it now as a cross. It's like a very simple wooden cross. But what's odd to you, and that what you would note, is what's inscribed in it is not of we'll say this, doesn't seem to coincide. I think the term Christianity would be much lost at this point, but like this idea of like whatever this is doesn't match what's inscribed in it, kind of on the back of it, and would be considered quite a relic at this point. Not just on page, but like a physical relic. You don't just find these lying around.
Where did you find that?
What is it?
It's a lost symbol of an bygone fate from the First Horizon. Usually not something seen anymore. If anything, someone who was collecting these fates, or someone who followed this fate, would have that around their neck. Where did you find that?
He still has one hand on the canister, and he goes to pull it back again.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that he's like taking a step back, Alia.
Oh.
Do you let it go?
You give him the canister.
I let it go.
He takes it, and again, you see him like kick a bunch of the clothes that were like on the floor, and he puts it in the center of it, and then opens the drawer, which is like the only piece of furniture not destroyed because it's bolted to the wall, and pulls out this massive book and hands it to Alia. Figure it out.
Alia's speechless. Like she just
This
grabs
is
it.
The book. As you thumb through it, I'm not even going to make you make a culture check. You can see that this book is full of actual paper. It seems to be a collection. Probably at one time was like a single journal that now has been stuffed with papers of various other books, other writings, other entries, and journals from various spiritual religions and cultures of the First Horizon. This is said to be this infamous book that may have the answer to possibly getting whatever is inside of her out.
Well, that is some level of providence, I suppose. Well, I'm going to go and I'll do that. Excuse me. Quinn walks out.
Do you,
Like nose in the book, like you're flipping. Yeah.
do you want any help?
She does not at this point hear anything. Like she's just like, holy shit. That like literally like that was just some 1% chance thing that she was talking about, and suddenly to have that turn into 100% and in her hands is like she's in shock. Like,
Well,
Welcome to the crew, Alia.
So
2% chance, we got it.
100% of the time.
Hey, Tal, how long has it been since I've been taken?
Cycle or so.
Damn.
We went as fast as we could, but you know, it's not the quickest trip out. We had to prepare.
No,
One
God.
doesn't do
I get it.
all that by accident.
I take a moment to like look at like I assume everyone's still here except for Alia who's
who's
gone
now
off to
face
do
down
it.
in a book? Yes.
and like Soul takes a moment just be like shit like I'm really out. s- what's happening? Why? What are we doing now?
Next on my list was to try to get Lamara out.
Oh, she got
So,
out.
Yeah, well, try to get her out and back to herself. Because I feel like the next destination we're going to be going is going to be helpful to have medic, right?
I like look over to Malik and over to Tamir and just like, so what have you guys been up to?
I've only been back on the ship for 2 months.
2 months.
Less than that, maybe even. Do you look different?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that's true. Yeah, you haven't seen it all. Yeah, so Malik has, the beard is a little bit longer, still like sort of cleaned up, but you can see where like certain spots of the beard are like shorter than other spots. Like it wasn't cut with like a shaver. You can
edge, yeah.
you can also see that his hairstyle is similar, but down this side and on the other side there are matching braids, and there's also like a few like scars on like his chin, like the side of his face, in the hairline. And he's several shades more tan than the last time you saw him.
And I assume Malik's normally the type to keep himself pretty
Yeah.
well groomed. So okay. Yes. At this moment, this is the one moment where Soul's finally getting the chance to like, get with reality, because I feel like it just
Everything's slowed
happened.
down.
Yeah, and just in case everyone's curious, like Soul looks fucked up. Like he got cuts, scars, bruises. His hair is kind of burnt, and like he's just standing there, just like, "Hey man, I was glad to be home."
Lost little dog.
Yeah, he's just really fucked. Oh, and his one eye is pretty much like, is cut completely.
Tal looks pretty
Oh.
similar, only her hair is a bit shorter, and she looks like she's been working out even more than she was before.
Hell yeah, get them gains.
Leg day every day.
And just for my sake, for like clarity, Tamir, physical changes.
I mean, he lost a lot of baby fat
Hell yeah.
He buffed up.
Sexy
His
Tamir.
beard
Got you.
finally is filling in, but it's not clean cut. He
Hell
is
yeah.
scraggly. The sides of his head are shaved, but he still has like this just massive unkept curls that just do whatever they want. And he has new
headphones. Cool.
yeah.
It's Joey
Yes.
with abs.
Yeah, new
Okay.
tech. He has new tech.
I have one, okay?
Same.
It's here.
I got you.
It's-
I got you,
That's
brother.
all you need.
Same
But
here.
it is there.
And so Sewell will take a moment, just be like, you know, you guys look like you look.
You look like you too.
I'm going to go fix the ship.
Yeah.
Great to have you back.
Yeah.
We're still sitting duck out here. Or whatever the
now.
equivalent of a sitting duck is
Look,
in space.
Do ducks sit?
yeah,
I wish I was that kind of the joke
I
planet.
guess. Anyways, we should probably wait a little bit here and fix things. There isn't that much to fix, luckily, but yeah, fix things, rest, recoup, and then we'll go to the station in a day or two.
Oh, do I still have a room, or did the giant lady take it?
Sewell, you've already seen it.
Yeah, but I didn't know if that was mine. I just
Yes, it's yours. I even cleaned it for you. It's still there.
that's why I was really confused. It was really clean.
Yes, because I like to keep my ship clean, Sewell.
Right. What do you want me to do?
Take a shower.
Oh.
You stink.
Oh shit. All right. And then I'm gonna just walk off and go to take a shower. And then like before he leaves, he takes a moment to kind of just look back, and he keeps walking. In case you guys don't know, Soul's fucking happy to be back.
There's a little pep in his step.
A little spring in my sprung.
Little spring in soul.
Hell yeah. I go take a shower.
Malik.
Season 3, episode 1, Sewell shower scene.
We
Success.
have to have a butt shot.
That was the secret.
Absolutely.
That was the secret 6th stretch goal.
Yeah, stretch goal.
I couldn't find my unmute button. I just want to say I did not agree to that. Okay.
That's why it was the secret stretch goal. You just made it happen.
Shit.
So I
You did that.
imagine. Does everybody go to their own places for a while, or is there more to be said? Because that's really the first time you've actually seen Lamara.
Yeah. As Sewell walks off, I turn back to Malik and say, "Are you okay? Do we need to? I don't have another towel. Are you okay? You're bleeding."
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. It's superficial cut.
Okay. And then I just kind of look at Tamir, and I look at Malik. I'm like, all right.
What?
Well, I walk out and I use the keypad to close the door, leaving them together in the room.
Why is your girlfriend so weird? What has
Poggers.
been happening for the last 6 months?
Not my. We have to talk about it. Still,
Gave you the look, yo.
labels are kind like. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for any of this. There's a very broken ship. I need to get us up and out of here.
You
This
lost.
is the worst possible system to not have our engines running in.
You
This
lost
is all they
15
got.
pounds, Tamir. That's your girlfriend.
I mean, I love her, yes,
Gross.
but not everything has to have a label.
Whatever.
Don't
Why is she being
have-
weird? Was the question.
I don't know. She's the captain.
She was less weird before.
You're weird now.
I lived on a
Very less weird before.
trash planet for 6 months.
Yeah, how was that?
Shitty, man. You saw it. It's a pretty shitty place.
Well, it was pretty shitty of you to just go on your own.
What else was I gonna do?
You have a crew.
I mean, I had one when I went there too.
Well, did they also leave alive, or
Oh yeah,
Maybe
no,
I
it was
made it.
it was Samina, and she left my ass on the planet.
who is Samina?
Hot dancer. Hates Soul.
Stab
Black-
you in the gut.
Black dress. Met her on Hamura Station.
You know, she tried to kill me, right? Like,
How would I know that?
she is
Did you email me that?
this. I don't know. Did you ever get any of my emails, brother?
I scanned them.
And you just thought that an auto message was going to suffice?
I was busy.
I know. Your room was trashed.
Why is everyone going in my room?
Because I don't know, you didn't leave it for months.
I was busy
Doing what?
finding that book.
And where did you find that book?
On the trash planet.
That I sent you to?
Apparently.
Yeah. Why didn't you just come to us to begin with? We all want to get Lamar back. We would have done everything to try to help you. You just left us.
Yeah.
And you left
'Cause-
alone. You didn't even say goodbye. What if we didn't?
You did?
You're lucky. Some icon was watching over you.
Okay. What is there any news? What's been going on since I left?
Roll the tape, Dot, of all the things that have gone on.
It's mostly just the last 6 months for Malik, because he was
Yes.
on Coriolis for a while.
All right. What do? We know that Choli left Alia with the group as soon as you returned, pretty much as soon as you returned from Kua. Malik went into hiding for like 6 months. Well, more like 8 months because you didn't realize he was missing. Then it took you a month to prepare to go get him off a magnetic planet that he got stranded on. So Malik kind of just disappeared. About 3 months out from Sewell's arrest, Tao and Tamir started making runs to the asteroid belt in the Kua system to retrieve things to make extra money, which is probably how this entire thing was funded. If Tamir tells you, he would tell you that Jalissa was an important part in helping Tao retrieve the map that you used to like break into the prison to get Sewell. He was stabbed by the dancer. I don't know how much do you share about Alia?
I mean, enough about like that Alia is a member of this crew. Tamir trusts Alia, and that Malik should also extend that trust to her. The only thing that Tamir would withhold is deep details about 2-bit and
I was
no
about to say, do you mention
details
2-bit?
about Aurora. Mm-mm.
Okay.
The only person who
So-
really knows is Tal, and even then, very limited. It is a thing like, don't ask questions, but don't
So
be alarmed.
you would probably be told that somebody named 2-bit is who gave your brother, like, the information about where the planet, like the planet where the book was, that the thumb drive came from, and that is who he's making runs, like selling some of this metal to. I would say selling some of it because the rest of it's going to like other places, but like one of the buyers, I guess you could say, of the junk that they're pulling back from these asteroid fields, or were in Kua. And Ollie has kind of been along for the ride. Other than your personal problems, would you say Tamir is caught up on current events, like political current events?
Oh yes, because Tamir is considered an outlaw. Tamir is wanted for terrorism. So he has to, like, he's probably got or both Aurora and Sally feeding him whatever scrapes of radio. I mean, this poor kid is paranoid as fuck, okay? And that paranoia is just growing.
Well, the news kind of leaked the big reveal about the emissary being dead, which caused quite a bit of panic. Civil war has pretty much broken out amongst the Third Horizon. Coriolis itself is in a tough place. The empty seat of the emissary, the homogeny wants to seat themselves. They believe they deserve that seat. And Tauan has become fought over space. The Order of the Pariah has taken over, I'll have to check which station it is. One of the 2 portal stations after a very long battle that happened about 6 months after Sewell was arrested. The Order has taken over that one, and the other side is being run by the Consortium. So in and out of Tauan right now is completely blockaded. You cannot get in or out unless you have permission from one side or the other. So like the Uharu side and the Hammurabi side of Tauan are both under control at the moment, but there were large battles that took place to make that happen.
Just to clarify, the whole Tamir is a terrorist thing, is that because of the information we released at the end of season 2?
Yes.
Was that the fallout from that? Okay. Or at least as far as Malik knows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. Which is part of what they're calling propaganda, but there's very clearly something going on and people are beginning to figure it out.
Yeah, I think so. I think he would have known that, right? He was also fairly plugged into news feeds while he was on Coriolis, but
up until I would say that the 6 months mark, yeah.
When Tamir mentions that the data stick was given to him by a 2-bit, he like takes like he adjusts his posture. You know 2-bit.
I know 2-bit. There more than one, maybe?
It's a ridiculous name. I can't imagine there would be more than one.
Malik is a ridiculous name.
No, it isn't.
You hear a voice in your head go, I don't like him.
Sometimes me too.
I think 2-bit's a great name.
2-bit is a great name.
Malik.
Is a dumb name.
Malik means king, first of all. Second of all, I can't imagine there's more than one 2-bit.
They only named you king because you were first.
Uh-huh.
Gotta come on mute for that shit. Pew pew, bitch.
Uh-huh.
Expat pew pew, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'd like a darkest point, please.
Damn.
They named you after someone with
that was
traits.
enough shade I ought to just spend one. Damn.
He crosses his arms, not quite used to this new shade throwing Tamir, and he says, They named you after someone who trades fruit. How do you know 2-Bit?
How do you know 2-Bit?
She stranded my ass on a planet.
2-Bit stranded you on a planet?
Yeah. She's part of Samina's pirate crew.
She has nothing to do with Samina.
Well, then someone using her name with, I don't know, some weird face stuff was on the ship. The Corsair? The one we found in Hamura? That's Samina's ship.
Aurora? Did you travel with somebody named Samina?
Hello?
Like, you definitely hear... He's talking. He's just straight up asking questions.
Oh yeah, I don't like her very much. Sometimes she comes around. 2-Bit says she's dangerous and is trying to take the secrets. But 2-Bit also says she's super useful and misguided.
What did you install?
Just an upgraded AI.
In your
Something a little
head?
better. Yeah, why not?
I'll write you a thesis on why not.
I don't have time to read your thesis. And when is the last day? Do you even know how to write the thesis?
I swear to God, I'm going to lock you in this room. How do you know 2-Bit? And why do you have an AI in your head that you just talked to out loud?
Why are you on a ship with 2-Bit? Why are you on a ship with a dancer?
Because I needed to get to XR.
You have a ship. You have a captain and a pilot, the best actual fucking pilot in the whole damn Third Horizon. We have seen her time and time again, but no, you want to go make bed with this dancer who's basically tried to kill everybody here at some point or another.
Question, Alia. Do you know that they know who she is?
But Alia left.
No, did
at
you
this
tell
point
them? I just need to
imagine,
know
no.
if you don't. So you would not have told them. Great, perfect, wonderful. Keep
No, I
please.
would. Oh no, I mean, was Alia there during the stabbing?
Yes, because that was 3 months in.
In the sense of like,
Well,
I was on the ship,
Alia-
right?
Alia was there when he came back stabbed.
Right.
And he
Right.
only knows her as the dancer.
Well,
To
you
me-
know her
then-
other name, which is
Yeah,
Amira.
Well, you might know her other name.
Amira.
Mira.
Yeah.
Tamina is the name. Yep. Well, this is confusing. Please tally forth, Tamir. I'm sorry, I did not mean it.
Listen, the Corsair is smaller and faster and already had the magnetic drive. This ship had none of those things. And it's huge and bulky. And if it wasn't piloted properly, which no offense to Tal, she is admittedly far better than the pilot of the Corsair, it would have plummeted into the planet and been stuck there permanently. I didn't want to involve you at all.
Well,
Also-
guess what? No, you also. We made the ship faster, and we got the magnetic drive. So we had all of those things anyways that you would have needed if you could just come to us, Malik. We can help you. I can help you.
Well, it's
I'm your brother.
already
Why
happened.
would you trust?
Why would I
He
trust
left
what?
you. They left you.
She left me.
And none of them came back for you because they're not your crew.
To be
Played
fair,
pirate, and you got screwed.
in her defense, it did screw her out of a pretty lucrative drug deal.
Again with the drugs, Malik.
No, it was the same drugs.
That doesn't make it better. You're missing the point.
Listen,
You
if it
have
wasn't
family.
if it wasn't for Samina, we would have missed a whole bunch of information about Jalissa. So, she has her uses. They just usually come with a cost.
Well, yeah, and the cost was 6 to 8 months of your life? Wondering where the hell you were?
I made some
how much
friends.
money we already had to reinvest into the ship, the dangers that Tal, Alia, and I had to go through just so that we could try to get you back, so we could get you back and then go rescue the rest of our crew.
I didn't even know who Alia was, so.
Well, you would have if you were here. But instead, you locked yourself away in a room, and you threw away your life, and you literally almost threw away your actual life. What
Yeah,
if
but
you
I
didn't
didn't.
come back? Then who would...
Who'd what?
I have to go fix this ship. I don't have time for this. We don't know when the Omicron system is going to do the thing that it does, that I can't remember what it does, but it does a thing, and we don't like it.
Okay, fine. But if the AI is from 2-bit, a little bit of caution.
You might know about computers, but I doubt you understand AI. Tamir's gonna start walking off.
I'm going to let you think about that one.
As you go to walk off, you round a corner, and Ollie is there with more tea, and snacks.
Oh, well, but before you get that far,
Oh.
as you leave the room, Tal's just standing on the side of next to the door, kind of leaning up against the wall with her arms crossed, just kind of waiting.
I'm drinking that shit tea, man. That's fucking bomb.
More tea.
Welcome back, Paul. I love you.
I'm pouring it in a canister, and I'm just drinking. I'm like,
Yeah, as Tamir walks out, I just kind of squeeze his arm and walk down the hall, and that's when we run into Alia.
That's when you run into Ollie with tea and snacks.
I while they're walking in, I'm assuming Soul and I are together, and I'm just trying to.
oh my god, this is
might
so
not
good.
be
Where do you
good.
even get this stuff?
You do know that tea is a diuretic.
What does that mean?
You'll find out soon.
Whatever, man. This shit's hella good. Oh my god, I'm just gonna keep drinking it.
I love you, KP. I'm so happy you're with us.
Yes.
And I imagine that the four of you kind of convene in the hall for tea and snacks, and the camera cuts to Malik, who is standing there now alone in the engine room with this canister.
Bedroom.
Yeah.
Bedroom with the canister. Duh.
Yeah, he secures the canister, and then just kind of surveys the disaster, and then walks over to the intercom. I need to see everybody in the mess hall.
You're not my captain.
You just scolded me for not sharing information. I need to see you in the mess hall.
You could have just shared the information right then and there. I need to go repair the ship.
All right, boys.
Everyone. Thank you.
I'm gonna look at Alia. I think we should go to the mess hall.
Mommy and Daddy are fighting.
Also, do you know which button is the fucking intercom button?
Some things never change.
Malik leaves the room, hits the button, unplugs his security tablet, and like pushes the wires back into the hole.
Back in, yep.
And for
You
that
all
question,
convene
like,
in the mess hall.
I was just going to say,
Okay, go
like,
ahead.
instead of actually saying it, she literally presses the button for him for the intercom.
Fuck! I press this all the damn time.
You're still
He
holding it
says
down.
as the button is pressed.
Yes,
Oh, son of a mother!
And it is Sewell's cursing, cut off randomly by the incorrect clicking of a button as you all convene in the mess hall.
Yeah.
For Malik's reveal?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'm still drinking tea.
how fast do you think you can fix that, Alia? That situation there with the...
Handed to me what seems like 1,000-page book, and it's been 5 minutes. Or
What if I told you you have... And he, like, pulls up his, like... What's not a wristwatch? What the hell is it called? Whatever the holocron thing that he has. He, like, pulls it up, and you see him, like, hit a few of the buttons on the side of it, and it displays, like, a time date code. What if you had 27 days?
Oh, well, I can certainly try to speed read and skim.
Yeah, so the bad news is that your 2-bit AI friend there, Tamir, she said it's going to go nuclear about 27 days from now. So...
You're telling me you have a freaking nuke in your damn bedroom?
Yeah.
Correct.
I look at Sewell and I says the guy who literally has grenades in his.
That's not as bad as a nuke.
If you put a grenade in the nuclear reactor that powers the ship, it sure is.
If you put a nuke anywhere, it's going to explode.
Not necessarily.
Not
Well,
if
apparently in 21 days it is.
27, and not if Alia does her job, which is apparently this, I guess, and tea. So, less tea, more books.
I look at Alia. You're phenomenal at tea.
Also, hold on. And he, like, slides his bag over and pulls out another tablet and slides it across the table to wherever Alia is sitting with the book. That's a spare data pad. It has 6 months of research on it. Probably enough research that could have been done by a team of people. Hopefully that helps. It's every scrap of public data that I could find on Jinn, dark morphs, any kind of legends, lore from every planet I could access. So.
Well, you certainly have been busy.
Yeah. It was kind of a one-man show. And he, like, side-eyes Tamir.
You know, if you had said something, I probably could have helped you with the research.
How? I had 7 teraflops of data running at all times plugged directly into the Coriolis network, spiraling out to every single planet I could access. And I hacked your Bulletin Friends stuff as well.
Obviously,
Sorry,
there's
we have to give
nothing
credit to Terraflop.
That's so fucking good.
What?
That's a good one.
That's a real word.
He needs to
That
download
is-
more.
Sounds made the fuck up.
That's a
by
real...
you.
No, it's not.
It is.
No.
It's real.
Yeah. It's a real word.
Floating points of operation.
Yeah.
No,
Oh my god, these
it sounds
motherfuckers
made
are
the
right.
hell up and it tickled me. I'm sorry, Eris.
Yeah.
Continue.
No, it is a massive amount of data. One teraflop, a 1 teraflop computer system can make like 30,000 years worth of calculations in a second.
Apparently, according to
Flop away.
Polygon, both the PS5 and the new Xbox Series X.
They're flopping.
Teraflops.
They teraflops.
They be flopping.
I'm actually not following. What is happening?
It's
Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I genuinely have no clue what the fuck any of you guys are talking about.
Mike said a teraflop, and I
Yeah.
thought that was a made up word. Supposedly, it's not a made up word. It's
What the fuck does that have to do with what does 30 years of calculations have to do with PlayStation 5?
They have teraflops.
They have
It's not
teraflops.
a made up word. They have
Read the
this-
article, Paul.
I don't read.
I just read it in 1 teraflop.
I
Okay,
don't.
let's go. Use it in
It's
sentence, bitch.
a teraflop does 1 trillion calculations a second.
I don't believe you. Let's move
Holy
on.
moly's!
So
I
yeah,
did 2 calculations. I'm just kidding.
no offense, Tal, but I didn't really need the help collecting this data. I don't know what. I don't know what Tamir did, but whatever that data stick was the most useful thing I could have used. Thanks.
Just gonna drink my tea.
Next time you get yourself stranded on a junk planet, I'm not rescuing you.
That's fair.
I clap my hands and I go, well, looks like you guys haven't changed at all. Awkwardly giggling. I say awkwardly giggling like verbally because he doesn't know how to convey.
Damn it. What?
Same, buddy.
So do we need to disarm your nuke?
No, we need to
Disarm all
save Lamara.
Yes, that's what I said.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
And I point to the book. Is that book where all the answers are?
That is what you are
Hopefully so.
assuming. That's the hope, yeah.
Guess that's up to her.
No pressure. All right.
Read faster.
Drink less. And gets back.
That goes back.
into.
All right, so I will do this. If you would like to, you took a little bit of time. Make a culture check. You can go through some of this
So
and see
many
if you
culture
can narrow
rolls.
down.
All right.
I mean, Ali, if it helps at all.
You get a +1 from the research given to you.
Oh, nice. How do I calculate that, by the way?
There should be a modifier at the top or a box that pops up. One of the two. Like at the very top of the sheet. Hang on, let me check your Alia sheet.
Dot, can I give Alia
Now.
a help?
Modifiers.
Dot.
Sorry, go ahead.
Can
How
I
would
give,
you like to help?
Can I give Alia? Well, I actually am trained in culture, but also I provided that data
Well, that's why
tablet.
you weren't listening. I just gave her a +1.
Oh, for the data tablet? Okay, then never mind. Then
God,
Listen, Mike.
pay attention.
I mean, I
Nice
can
boy.
motivate Alia with guilt, which is what I was about to do anyway.
I'd still like to see that.
'cause-
Go ahead
'cause
and make
Malik-
the culture roll with a +1.
Because Malik definitely leans forward and says, "Hey, if it's any, if it helps speed up the process, the only reason we're in this situation is because Shirley's alive." So,
Oh. At this point, though, Alia's really focused. Like she's like blinders on, like focused into the book. So I think even if she heard
Alright.
it, it just has not processed yet, or she's like keeping it to the side, so she doesn't like really get
You
to
rolled
it,
a
like
one?
or let it get to. And then sorry, I'm gonna so positive. So I put a 1 in the positive section, right?
Yes, one in the positive section. Make the roll. Make sure to take that
And
back
then
down
make
after this roll.
Sure. And then culture.
Make the culture check.
Yay!
nice.
Hey, 2 limited success. Nicely done. Okay.
Yeah.
My God, look at that.
The most
cultural
important thing
row.
is that the most the most important thing is that the man who was collecting all of this had a particular interest in solving, and he believed that through the old cultures of the first horizon, the third horizon would free itself from many of the darkness blights that plague this place, such as possession of this kind. Based on the information that you've been given from Malik, you are to assume that she's possessed by a jinn. Now, you having a better understanding of the supernatural, it is said, right, that jinn take many forms after they come back, but that jinn in essence are demons of sorts. They take all kinds of forms once they reach this place, but regardless, they still need a body. They need a vessel. More than likely, what you saw was Jin and Lamara wearing the Lamara vessel. That means that inside of that canister that Malik is guarding with his life, it doesn't need to wear her. That it is free to roam inside of the canister along with Lamara. You've seen a canister of a similar sort before. It was a little simpler. One used this way. You've seen the trapping of a djinn. You've never seen the release of one. Good news is, the symbol on this man's neck shows up multiple times throughout some of these like readings and writings. And from what you can tell, his latter research was deeply interested in something he called, or the old ways called, an exorcism. And many cultures of the First Horizon have different forms of exorcism, and he seemed to be trying to collect this information of how to exorcise a demon from a human vessel.
Right. I'm assuming that is not something she figures out in like that.
No,
sitting
I
at
think
that table. Okay.
Not probably not. I imagine that you figure out that he was researching Jinn. You would have just known that this man who kept this book, the kinds of research he was doing, though you've never seen his research. So what it now is like, I have all the puzzle, I have the framework of a puzzle. Now I've got to put all the inside pieces. Like, you know, with what information you have, you could potentially solve or figure out a ritual, maybe, to potentially exorcise the demon from her, but it would require her to be out of the canister. Okay. And it is not assured, and right, it's like a big trial and error kind of thing. You think you have the information, but you don't know till you do it.
Is there any items or anything that you would say that I would need to collect, or things that would assist?
Well, the artifact that he has seems to be one that is suggested can be used for a multitude of things to help with an exorcism by one vein, which is things like they create something, a special kind of blessing of water, and that the symbol itself is said to repel these demons. But then again, these are very old symbols, so you have no idea if any of that'll work.
So I think Alia is just going to be focused on the book and trying to piece all this together as best as she can.
Well, now you know. 27 days.
Malik, would you mind if I take this with me to my room?
The book?
Yes.
Yeah.
And your data pad.
Oh, yeah, by all means. That's yours.
Okay. Thank you. And if you don't mind, mind if I come by your room later? I would like to discuss.
Yeah, please do.
I find. Okay. Well, if you excuse me, and then she gets up and takes the book and the data pad and heads over to her room.
All right, Tal. I already got scolded once. Let's go. Get it all out.
What'd you do?
I locked myself in a room for 6 months, finding all that research. Then I jumped with another crew to a junk planet and got stranded there. Oh yeah, the captain was Samina, your dancer girlfriend.
What the fuck?
She has her uses.
So for 6 months, you didn't even you didn't look for me?
You were in a prison. We knew where you were. It was a prison.
Okay, fair, I guess. But even worse, wait, what? I look at Tal and Tamir, just like looking for a reaction, like
Tal's face is just stone cold looking at Malik. She hasn't said a word for a while.
Wait, why? Hold on. And I look at Tal. Why did you break me out?
Because once you're part of this crew, that's it. You can leave if you want to. But I'm going to come and get you if you get taken from us. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's fine. Tal just walks off to the mechanical room to start working on repairing.
Think of all the cool shit you added to the ship.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
So,
yeah. And he like sits on the table. He like sits at the table, like on one of the benches. Yeah, no, what's up?
I look at Tamir. What is going on? Why? What is happening with? Why does she seem uncertain that rescue or breaking me out was a good idea? And why is your brother telling me now that he spent 6 months not caring that I was in jail? And why aren't you saying anything?
I already said my piece to Malik.
Well, you haven't said shit to me.
In the room.
I look at like both of them, and then I assume Tal left. Like, you guys watch me get dragged away, and now you're making me think that it was a mistake to break me out? Your brother tells me he wasn't even going to break me out?
I mean, I didn't say that. I said I did something first.
Sul. For better or for worse, you're part of this crew. I agree with Tal. If you had left on your own accord, we probably would not have come, but you had no choice in the matter. After everything that we've been through, how could we in good conscience let you sit there and rot for the crimes of your father? I may not like you for the things you have done, but you are not your father. And the right thing to do was to get you back. And I have no regrets about that.
And
as soon as we figured out you were missing, some of us were looking for you.
To be fair, given the shit we've done, and he like nods at Soul, breaking you out of prison was the easier option than figuring out how to unfuck that canister. So I researched the more difficult one.
Listen, I spent a lot of time by myself thinking about a lot of things, counting whatever minutes I could count to see if I could leave. At a certain point, I kind of stopped counting. Now, it seems pretty convenient that you guys blew up half the prison.
That was an accident.
Regardless, you blew up a fucking planet or prison.
It was an asteroid.
Was it? I don't know. Regardless, 27 days before your girlfriend is about to explode.
I get stuck on a junk planet.
I don't care if you were stuck up your brother's ass. All right, listen. The fact is, it seems a bit convenient, and Tal over there is not really screaming confidence in her decision. It's a little weird, I guess. And then like Sul like looks around. And I really don't care at this point whether you guys broke me out because you wanted to or because you needed me.
Needed you for what, Sul?
I don't know. Whatever it is you need me for.
Sul, no one knew about the canister until just now.
How the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Because I just called a meeting and told all of you.
Again, how the fuck am I supposed to know what people do and not know? I was on the damn rock for 9 months.
Because I started the conversation with, I have news, everyone.
You say that all the time, though.
No, I don't. I usually don't tell you guys shit.
Oh, I guess that's true, too.
Yeah. So.
All right. Okay, listen. I think we're all getting heated up. We all need to calm down.
It's just you.
Relax. Stop yelling. But what I'm saying is, I'm glad to be back, regardless of what the reasoning is. And hopefully we can figure out what's happening with your explosive girlfriend. And Tamir. You look good, I guess. Yeah. And
nice ass.
What? What did you say?
The suit. Remember like a year ago with the suit and the ass? We had a whole thing about it.
Why out of everything, that's what you remember?
Because it was funny. I was trying to... Why did you eat 7 veggie cans?
Because I ate worms and maggots for 9 months? And rotten rats?
All right.
Malik, I'm sure you
This
didn't do
ship
much
is
better.
going to.
Malik found all the weight that Tamir lost, but then lost it on the fucking planet. He ate nothing but junk food and then ate nothing but sand. Sand and rust.
Did you say Tamir left?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna give him a link. So, what are we supposed to do? Should we just wait for the ship to be fixed?
Man, I don't know. I think they were being a couple. I don't even know where Alia came from. She was just here.
Do you know anything about her?
No, she's just big and makes tea, and apparently can read that book. So I'm putting a lot of faith in that, I guess.
I feel like I've missed a tremendous amount of information. What is this book? Why were you on the dancer ship? Why does your girlfriend become demon girl now?
Yeah, so
what happened to the emissary?
Well, it died.
You were there for that.
Oh, I know what happened to the emissary. Stop telling me things I already know, Malik.
What you don't, you know what happened to the one emissary, but you don't know what happened to the other 4. Remember, I told you there were 4. Its siblings are missing.
What I meant to say was, what happened to the 4 siblings?
I don't know. They're still missing.
Did nobody care to do what we were asked to do?
I'm sorry. We had my girlfriend in a jar and you in prison. What do you want to add on? Find the 4 missing emissaries, or what are we gonna?
Oh, I guess that's fair.
Okay. Because if we add one more thing, you were already just getting sassy. We didn't find you fast enough. So.
Well, I never said I was getting upset. I just wanted to know why you didn't look for me.
Because I found the harder option, which was resurrecting a. Sounds ridiculous. Whatever. The gin canister seemed much harder. I'm pretty sure that Tal just said that she found a map, and then we just kind of showed up and blew up the planet. So I mean. Jeez. Obviously, your mission was way easier than this one.
Yeah, I mean, so you just have your. So if you just open the lid,
I can't open it.
Oh, why?
I don't know. Magic, I guess.
What?
I don't know. Only they can open it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Samina had a ship, and it was fast and had a magnetic drive on it, and so we used that to get to the planet because she was already going there, and I called in a favor because she kind of owed me one-ish, and then she stranded me there.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Fortunately, there's weird indigenous people. What?
By yourself in a room?
Yeah, my room. It's my apartment. Not like a hole in the wall. I lived there.
For 6 months?
I lived there for several years.
Did you leave?
In the several years or the 6 months?
In the 6 months.
I mean, not if I didn't have to.
Oh, and then, like, immediately Sewell looks like he just like realized something. Yeah, also, what is going on with you and your brother? You guys don't seem so... I mean, you guys weren't that, happy before, but now you just, he's barking back a lot.
So you remember that time that you got arrested?
Vividly, yes.
Yeah. So about 2 months ago is the first time I saw Tamir.
Why?
It's like talking to a fucking child. I was locked in my apartment doing all the research, and then I went and got stranded on a junk planet.
Wait, were you locked? Well, like, did somebody lock you in there, or did you do that voluntarily?
Me!
Why didn't you you couldn't say hi to your brother while in your room?
I was busy finding all the research.
So busy you couldn't take 5 seconds to say hi to your brother in your room?
I made an automated voice message.
Malik, I really haven't learned a lot in my time in the Rock, and I'm pretty confident that y'all are much smarter than I am, but that sounds pretty damn stupid.
Listen, the day that we joined the Defiant crew was like the first time I had seen him in like 6 months. I don't know why everyone's up in their ass about me not seeing him for another 8 months. It was pretty typical until we all became part of a crew.
Well, I mean, I just figured, you guys went through a lot. Maybe, that 8 months or the whatever time you didn't talk would have been fixed with the short time of killing and pillaging and destroying and fixing and rescuing people.
I'm sorry
together.
I wasn't stoked to hang out with the dude who trapped my girlfriend in a jar.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't mean to.
He asked permission and then did it because we had no other option.
Who gave the permission?
Me!
So how you gonna be mad for something you said yes to?
Because I'm mad about it.
You know, Malik, I feel like you have a lot of issues you need to work out. I have this great book that your brother gave me once.
I
think
swear
it was
to
called
God.
Reading Emotions or
I
something.
wish we didn't blow up the prison planet.
I'm just, well, I mean, anyway, listen, and I like put my hand on Malik's shoulder. I promise you, we will do everything we can to make sure your girlfriend does not explode.
Great. I hope not, because we're in the direct vicinity.
Let's hope that promise isn't kept forever.
I promise you forever that we will do everything we can to fix your girlfriend.
No amount of explosive climax will ever happen. Like, what? Wait a minute, take it back.
And on that note, the camera cuts to Tamir. Tamir, where are you going?
Go to like his room, but no, he's got to go. He's got to go outside because they hit something.
You did hit something.
Yeah, he has to go
Okay.
make actual repairs.
That's what Tal was
They
going
are
to
suit
do.
up.
Fucking sitting
Okay, so
ducks.
so Tal and Tamir.
Tal walked off
Tal and
first to
Tamir.
go start these repairs. Tamir sat and talked for a while after.
Okay, so Tamir and Tal are gonna suit up and go out and repair the exterior of the vessel. As you get out there, no problems. I mean, this is what this like gear is set for. It takes you time, but you get out there. And the both of you are like feet are magnetized to the ship. You realize you turned the magnet on while you were escaping, and you've collected quite a bit of junk on the magnet on the bottom of the ship that you could load in if you wanted to. Just to note, but you can see where an asteroid has very clearly like dented the side. Something large has hit the side of the ship, and has broken. Nothing of great import off, but there's some damage that's going to take time, especially the exterior of the hull.
Tal's gonna start as soon as she gets out there.
The two of you, I imagine, are like you start up the rigs, the welding rigs, and the two of you begin working. Do you work in silence?
Tal doesn't say anything.
Yeah, probably for for a while.
You work in silence for a while. It's just the sound of your own breathing in this this suit that you wear. Tamir, you hear Aurora. Too bad hated when I did this, but you seem upset.
Of course I'm upset.
But
Are
why?
you saying this so Tal can hear you too, or is this just?
Oh, no, comms
I'm
are
just
off.
making sure. Okay.
Comms are off.
Yeah, comms
oh
are
yeah, he
off.
gets private time out here.
Yep. Tal's
poor
working
guy.
next
Space
to you.
is the only.
That's so
I would imagine that
sad.
Tal is rather supportive, and you can see that something's bothering him, but the comms seem to be off.
Well, no, I was gonna say Tal is 100% absorbed in work. There's obviously something bothering her, but she is not talking.
Oh man.
Samir, would you notice?
Oh no, shit! I feel like that's a roll.
Could make an empathy check to see if you notice that Tal's upset.
Ooh, do you notice that your girlfriend, not girlfriend, is upset? That's like a 50-50 coin flip, honestly.
Well,
Nope.
Nope.
do not.
Tamir's
You're
got his own
not,
problems. It's fine.
Said so many boyfriends to girlfriend.
Yeah.
Show of
You-
dabs, how many of you felt that? Like,
You don't. You just hear the sound of Aurora as she speaks to you, and she says, She says, you know, it was a lot quieter when it was just the three of us.
I know. Welcome to our family. You've already met Malik, and that was Sul. Who.
Malik seems sad. He hides it, but he's sad.
He is sad. Someone.
Why?
Who he loves? Or at least cares about. That creature that we saw. That was her. Her name was Lamara, and she was a great doctor.
He loves a monster?
She was not always a monster. And she may still not be a monster. We don't know. I don't know. Aurora, what do you know of
Yeah.
Jinn? We had a
one moment.
conversation about this before.
You could hear her like running things. I don't know a lot about Jinn, but they're scary and they hide among people. They look like us.
They do.
There are different records of them.
Do you have access to any of these records?
Some of them were kind of far out. Kind
We're
of
very far out.
a little bit. All I have are written documents,
Well,
journal entries. They're boring.
which ones interest you the most?
This one's fun. This one talks about a special kind of Jinn or a demon, female only.
Well, Lamaro is a female. Could you?
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
This one talks about rides the soul of a person back from the dead. And as it changes, it eventually merges with the body. They become one. And then she becomes a beautiful woman and she eats people after
After what?
I can't say that word.
It's okay. I won't tell anybody.
Intercourse.
He chokes. He does the adult thing when a kid says something like that. It's like,
Yeah.
Over the intercoms, you hear.
That's
"Are you
what
okay?"
it says. That's what it says.
It's just, it's a little dry.
Would you like to make a empathy roll to see if he's lying to you?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Can you tell if your boyfriend's upset?
Great at empathy. Is that an observation?
There's only one. You could observe him choking.
Okay. Well, that
Would be
doesn't
like a
empathy.
visual one, but if you wanted to know if he was lying to you about the question you asked.
Okay. No.
No,
Tal
the both
just
of
kind
you
of
are
shrugs
really,
and goes back to welding.
Yep. Y'all have spent many an hour in dead space together working on your ship in asteroid fields, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, she goes, that's what it said. That's what it said, Tamir. Right?
I believe you.
You said the most interesting one.
That is very interesting. Thank you so much, Aurora. Would you be able
There's,
to check? Oh,
Well, that's not the best part.
what is the best part?
How it becomes a Jinn.
How does it become a djinn, Aurora?
Well, right here in the fine print, it says that it has to draw the blood of its lover. You said Malik loves Lamar, right?
I believe so.
Oh,
Aurora?
well, make sure no blood is drawn.
Hypothetical. Hypothetical. What were to happen
Okay.
if blood were to be
Okay.
drawn from her lover?
Well, this says here that it's the first step in finalizing the form.
So there are still more steps.
Yeah.
What are the other steps?
Oh. Well, the first one is drawing the blood of a lover. The second one is to be released from its cage. You have a cage?
The chrysalis pod is more than likely the cage. But none of us released it. And that was sealed.
Didn't it crawl on the ceiling earlier?
Right, but I don't know how it was able to get out.
Oh, but it was released.
Right, which is a problem, because if Malik couldn't even activate the device, that means a mystic would have had to open it as well?
So who touched it? Which one of you opened it?
Tamir doesn't know how to answer that question because there's, as far as he knows, there's only one other mystic on this ship, and he would never think that Tal
Well,
would
three
open it.
technically. Oh yeah. Okay, so you think it would have had to have been Alia?
Correct.
So you think Alia did it?
Inconclusive.
What about the explosion?
What about the explosion?
Couldn't it have exploded it open? Well, the
that
good
would mean
news
that-
is the last one is not gonna have to happen. So it doesn't matter. She's saved.
Oh, you are very confident. I like this, Aurora. What is the final step?
They have to do something called the fornication, and when they're done, she has to eat his head.
What?
See, that's a made up word.
Goddamn praying mantis.
You have a dictionary. You know it's not a made-up word, Aurora.
Yeah, but can we pretend it is?
We can pretend it is. That's such a silly word. Just the silliest word.
So as long as we don't do the made up word, and nobody's head is eaten, then she's fine.
I mean, it is a little bit
Your
assuring.
heart is pounding fast again. What's wrong? It's just a story.
Well, the funny thing about stories, Aurora, is that they keep turning out to be true.
Most stories are true if you listen good enough.
That is a lesson I am slowly learning. Trying to listen more. So, thank you for sharing this story with me. It's been very helpful.
Oh, you're welcome. Can we not tell anybody I said the fornicate?
I promise. No one will know.
Okay, she kind of you feel her kind of dissipate off. So you and Tal can finish what you're doing. Do you say anything, or do you both continue to work in silence?
I think Tamir would actually say something. Does Tal look like she's receptive to having conversation? Is this like, look, space is cold, but is she colder? Like,
you can't tell. You already rolled that, unless you want to roll it again. You don't know.
No.
She's just, as far as Tamir can tell, she is in work mode.
Okay, cool.
Just fixing things.
So, Hal,
yeah.
How are you?
Oh, well, I just rescued your brother. He's ungrateful. Then I rescued Sewell, and he's ungrateful and blowed up the planet in the process. It's fine. Everything's great. I can't hear you at all. I think there's something wrong with your comms.
No. There's nothing wrong with my comms. I mean, Malik is relatively always ungrateful, and I would equally imagine Sue is often ungrateful. They are friends, and like things attract one another. So there you have it.
Great.
I'm grateful though. I don't know if I've said it any time soon. We've been busy, but thank you for allowing us to go rescue my brother.
I mean, I say it all the time, but he's part of the crew. Damn it.
But I mean it. How are you? We just blew up an asteroid prison. Your ship is hurting.
Tamir's like completely stopped. He's not doing any actual work. He is just straight up looking at Tal.
Tal's completely still focused on what she's doing. I don't know. I'm just here. Doesn't really matter at this point.
You know that's not true.
Well, any decision I make is either ignored or overruled, or obviously the wrong one, so someone else should be captain. I elect you.
Tamir is gonna kind of like magnetize his tool to the ship and kind of like thrust her over to where Tal is and kind of like, turn her to face him and just kind of connect his helmet to hers.
Your decisions got us here. Your decisions got my brother back. Got Sul back. Our entire crew is here. Because of you.
Well, obviously your brother can survive without me. And he's much too smart for me.
He is the biggest idiot I have ever known.
Well, then next time he can get himself killed. Stranded.
I am inclined to agree with you on this. But Tal, you are the captain of this ship. You literally have kept us all together. And now we're back as one. We can continue on what the stars have already told us to do. Under your guidance. If we didn't have you, honestly, none of us would be alive.
Well, I'm glad you think so.
Well,
Are you okay?
I am very concerned about the ship.
Me too.
Cal, you know the ship is going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's minor damage.
Yeah. I'm concerned about the ship too. Well, once we get it out of here, we're gonna have to find a way to disguise it. There's no way that we're gonna be able to dock in many places.
That is... We will have plenty of time to figure that out. Because right now, we really need to get out of the system.
Yeah, I know, but the most obvious way to get caught after committing a crime is to run like you've committed a crime. You gotta fly casual, as they say. So, we'll sit here, we'll collect a little bit more. That way, when we come back after all of this mess has kind of died down a little bit, we can say that we were collecting junk. We have our storage bins full of junk, and then we leave the system with our junk to go sell it somewhere else.
The last time she says junk, maybe you like gesture, you both look over at all the junk you've collected. I want you to both roll me an observation.
Observation. Ooh, take a 2.
I got a 0.
That's pretty doggone good.
Yeah.
Okay, Tal's talking away. But you see something when you look over to the, like, stuff. What you see, at first you think it's a star off in the distance, and then you realize, no, there's something very, very shiny or sparkly caught amidst all this junk. Possibly even gold. It seems to be something not of small size that has been pulled in with all of this junk that you collected. Actually, while you're at it, go ahead and roll a mystic ability as well. I want to see if you feel it.
Dot, take
Nope.
that darkness
No.
point.
Oh,
Oh,
Great. Let's make
There
it
we
an
go.
even 10.
yeah.
Okay. It now that you're looking at this thing, and maybe you even hear Tal's voice begin to kind of like dull out, like you're underwater, as that thing that happens, where you begin to kind of focus in on this item, and you can hear this thudding, the thumping of an artifact. It seems that you may have collected something of great value. Right
I
now,
feel
it's
like-
stuck to the outside of the ship.
I feel like Tal would kind of recognize that like trance-like state that Tamir gets into when he can hear and feel that the GM is definitely making Tamir ignore his girlfriend. He is not
again.
listening to her. Okay?
Cool.
You're talking away, but that glazed over look, that
Yeah.
look of he's hearing something.
Tamir. She kind of waves her hand in front of him. Hey. Hi. Something catch your eye?
Yeah, there is something... can you see over there? There is an energy emanating from it. hang on. I think we should get this inside.
You see it now that he.
Oh, you muted.
Oh, I just said you could easily. Tao, you see whatever the sparkly thing is when it's pointed out to you. Do both of you go in and like pull the junk into the cargo bay?
I was gonna call in for Alia to do that.
Oh, perfect, great. Over the comms you go.
Yeah.
Actually, the camera cuts to Alia. Alia, you can roll a culture check if you want.
Culture. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Yay!
Okay, another success. You're really kind of churning through this. Some of it is a bit foreign, but some of it you're rather prepared for. And you do seem to be finding some information. With another few days worth of study, you might feel confident in actually running a ritual. But it would be, what's the word I'm looking for? Risky. All of it's very risky. There's only ever been a couple successful exorcisms in like all of the Third Horizon history.
Okay. Ooh.
And
by the way,
you hear a voice over the intercom. Oh yeah.
I was just gonna ask. In the book, does she come across any of that information or anything at all similar to the information that?
Oh yeah, you would begin. I would say the Malik information is very similar to what, because that's coming from the same database. The stuff you have is not going to be found in any database on Coriolis. That's like what's in the book, right? This is the deeper lore from a place that's long forgotten, or at least we think that we're closed off to the First Horizon. The research Malik has done leads you more along those lines, and you get a lot. I would say easily get a few different kind of Jinn have been tracked and traced throughout the Third Horizon's history. This female form has not ever really shown up, but it has been theorized, which means somebody's had to have seen it or dreamt about it. A mystic wrote about it, right? A premonition of some kind, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, as she's reading all this,
Any other,
she's
like,
definitely...
are there other questions I can answer? Let me know.
Sure. I think at this point, though, I think those are the primary focus. Like, honestly, at this point, she was on her way to Malik. So that's like, I think like once she starts realizing all of this, she's slightly panicking because she's regretting the decision of leaving the canister with him.
Yep.
So
maybe
like,
you go to exit, but you're stopped
Yeah.
by the comms. You hear Tamir's voice.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Could you please go to the controls, and we have a load that needs to be collected.
Is this important right now? I have there might be a little bit of an emergency that I need to attend.
What kind of emergency?
The gin in a canister sort of an emergency, possibly.
We have 27. we have 27 days for this. We just please. I think there's an artifact. I think we collected an artifact.
Oh. Okay, I will check what I can. One moment, please.
Thank you, Alia.
And
Alia,
so
you've done this before 1,000 times, and you pull the one lever that seals everything off, and you pull the lever, and from the outside you see the kind of magnetic base raised up and into cargo bay, and then it seals it off. Alia, you hit the button, and all of the metal just falls to the floor when you turn the canister off. The ship shakes a little bit. I imagine Malik and Sul, you very easily hear that. And Alia, you see what Tamir might have been talking about. There's a now that everything's not stuck to a giant magnet, you see an idol about 30 inches, so just a little over 2 foot. It's gold as can be.
Okay.
And the head of this idol, where it should be, is instead replaced with a very large gemstone, about the size of a fist.
Oh. 1 second. Sorry, go ahead. So
Oh, you're
do I
fine.
sense?
That's it. That is what you see.
Okay. Do I
Oh,
sense?
you can roll a mystic. You don't have the artificer talent, do you?
I don't think so. Let me double check.
Yeah, if that's not, I would say that you can feel energy off of it, but you don't know it's an artifact. Like that's definitely something an artificer identifies.
Gotcha. Oh yeah.
But like you do know that he said it was an artifact, so.
I don't touch it because I don't know what it does. So I put my hand over my headset and goes, Tamir, this is wow. You might want to come inside. Or unless you are still repairing, then seems that we might have something quite interesting. I don't know what I should do with it. Do you want me to take this to your room? Do you want me to take a look at it?
Please, by all means, if you would like, take a look at it. Tal, do you think you could finish up out here?
Yeah, I got it. It's a simple repair. Go for it. Identifying objects is your forte.
Malik, Soul, do either of you come and see what's going on in cargo after the drop?
Is any of that coming over like ship comms, or is that just to Alia comms?
But that's up to them. Did anything come over main comms, or was it just to Alia's chambers?
Probably all comms.
Yeah, so you would have heard that something had been collected, and then you would have felt the like drop of all of the metal and the clanging of the junk.
Yeah, if the I think we got an artifact is said over comms, like Malik, like, you want to go take a look at this? To Soul.
What am I looking at?
yeah.
Soul like just like dazed out for a minute. He's like, what?
When was the last time you slept?
For a minute, he kind of has like a flash, and like he kind of like has a twitch, and is like kind of like shakes a little bit, and he just like remembers something. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second. And he like slides his bag over again and like rummages around and pulls out a 2x3 metal sheet and tosses it on the table. Take one of those.
What is
just
that?
Just go lay down.
What
It'll
is it?
knock you right out.
I don't. Shouldn't we?
Listen, if you haven't slept in days, you're no good to anyone.
I just don't think I can sleep.
That's why I gave you those. That kind of removes the option.
He like hesitantly takes it.
Do you actually take it? The
I'm
sleeping
not gonna stab you in your sleep. Just go to sleep.
I'm not gonna take it, but I'm gonna like take the whatever he gave me. I'm gonna
you
just
take
pocket
whatever
it.
it is and kind of pocket it and hang on to
yeah.
it. The two of you walk down to cargo and see Alia standing near but not touching a very large gold idol.
What is that?
Alia, you can make a culture check now that you're closer if you'd like. I can tell you what it kind of looks like. Give me just a second. About this time, I'd say too, Tamir kind of comes in. You hear him depressure. You're unsure. This is maybe your head's still in Gen mode, but you don't know what this item is.
Miss Game Mother, can I take a shot in the dark?
You sure can.
Dope.
Gotta find my little readout of it so I can tell you what it looks like.
Did that roll? What's up? What are we doing? There we go.
There.
One success.
Okay.
Can I make an observation roll?
Immediately know it is. Yeah, you can make an observation roll.
I was kidding. I don't know shit.
You immediately know, from what both of you can tell, it is not any known icon. It doesn't look to be associated with any known icon. A wicker work of precious metal, instead of a head, contains a fist-sized gemstone. If you kind of change your angle, you can see the way the light hits the gemstone. It makes it kind of glisten like a star. The absence of any known attributes, as well as the fact that the idol has no face, this is perfect for you. Might indicate that it is a faceless one artifact, possibly, maybe. Or an incarnation of the faceless one in some way, but the icon, that's about all you know.
Huh.
It is probably, based on just the amount of gold and the gemstone alone, extremely valuable.
It looks expensive.
Looks dangerous. We should get this out and put this somewhere a little more safe. And Ali looks around, and is there like one of those like spacesuit style gloves nearby?
Oh yeah,
are they
yeah,
something
I
that could
imagine
just
Tamir's
worn
just
on their
taken
own?
one off as Tamir comes in and sees this happening.
If you don't mind. And then she grabs the gloves from Tamir and then puts them on, and then that's when she finally touches the idol.
You pick it up, even with a little hesitation. Nothing seems to happen. You kind of turn it over. You don't see any kind of writing on it, but it is very heavy, which tells you that it's probably solid gold. This is a small fortune worth of an idol.
Hey, kid.
Amir doesn't answer.
What does it do?
Soul just looks back and forth. I think he's talking to you.
Alia, do you mind?
One.
Oh, I'm sorry you didn't say Aurora. I apologize.
I don't know, Aurora.
Do you mind?
Do you mind?
You probably just hear Aurora go, "Ooh, that's shiny."
It's incredibly shiny. Tamir will go ahead and take it and kind of close his eyes.
Okay, roll another mystic ability check. +1 because you're an artificer.
Take a 1. Take a 1.
Interesting. Okay, a 1 is something. Yours is more of a feeling, right? Like you'd see everything that Malik did. You might recognize it as some kind of incarnation of the Faceless One. But hang on. There is something haunting, almost like a shadow that falls over you, Tamir. And I would say, Tao, you quickly finish up the last of the patchwork and maybe even enter as you see Tamir kind of pick this up and is looking over it. That way you're all there for this.
Oh shit, what did we find?
As you stand around in the room, something passes over you. It's more like trying to remember a dream. The images are difficult to pull. But you keep getting like almost bashed with these flashes of events or of creatures specifically.
What is that a picture of, Dot?
I know, dude. It's so hard to not look at.
Oh, this one, that's not what y'all are looking at.
It's just
I was so concerned. I was like,
it's just a dark morph. You're fine.
That's not it. It's over here. You're over here. I do actually. You know what? It's the end, and it is time. So I'm gonna do 2 things. I'm gonna tell you I played the last card, Blood. Lamar drew Blood. To finish the second part of the transition. So that, of course, is the last corruption bar. I did use it tonight. But I'm going to spend 2 darkness points. And Tamir, as you almost have to drop the idol. Sorry, I have to mark my 2 darkness points.
Would actually Tamir have been able to hold it, considering how heavy?
Maybe
He's
not.
a big,
Maybe you have to like
boy.
squat.
He is strong.
Maybe and Ollie is still there, so maybe you're
What for?
kind of holding it together.
Could maybe do it.
You hear in your mind's eye Aurora say, she says, the Hounds of Triades. She goes, the Hounds of Triades, as if it's like staring at something really bad. and you almost have to drop it and let it go. It clatters to the ground as you get a visual image of these hounds. So it is. Do you say anything after you drop it? Because we have 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
Aurora, what did we just see?
Yeah.
I've never. I don't.
It's a scary story. I don't want to tell it.
Aurora, please. If it is scary and we have just found this thing, should we even have it in our possession?
She goes, go to the HUD deck and research it. You'll see.
All right.
Follow me. And he's just gonna leave, and he's just straight up, like, he's not touching it, like, nope.
Right.
He will just go straight to that HUD deck and immediately try to pull up the information from Aurora.
You immediately click it in, and it's not hard to find. Some people say it's not true, but your system says otherwise. And the voice comes over, and it simply says, "The Hounds of Triades. The Triades colony on Minkar disappeared without a trace. The empty colony crumbled, as no believers would ever set foot there again. A single survivor surfaced and told the story of a gruesome fate of their colonist. One night, hounds emerged from the shadows of the corner of a room, dog-like creatures from out of smoke. They hunted and devoured all of the Triades inhabitants before the sun rose again. It is said that this single survivor survived by hiding in a water tank until morning." And you can see this is kind of like a medical record, like a woman talking, and you can see a man tied to a chair behind her as she talks to this camera, possibly the lone survivor, as she kind of gestures. She says, "We are still running diagnostics as to whether or not this is true. If it is, then more research will need to be done, and the consortium may have great interest in collecting these hounds for further use." He keeps saying that they cannot enter the circle. That they cannot enter the circle. Strange. And you can see he's like struggling in the chair. They're feeding some kind of sedative into his arm. Yeah. He says, "Whatever we do, not to keep the idol." Whatever that means. More diagnostics in the morning. And she kind of clicks the medical record off.
I am not a superstitious man, but Tal, we need to get rid of this thing. We already have enough bad luck as it is.
Yeah, we do.
You see this cargo bay that y'all have? Perfect. This is the cargo hold here on the top deck. This is perfect. As all of you re-enter the cargo bay, or even if you were left standing there and you let Tamir go and run this information and came back, the idol sits in the middle of the room, but the shadows in the corner of the rooms begin to take form. Those of you that were on Talon might remember a similar event happening, but this time from it does not step a humanoid type figure. Instead, it's a rather vicious dog. 2 hounds, in fact, step out of the shadows and kind of snarl at all of you. And we're going to end there because guess what? It's been 3 hours, y'all.
That's bullshit.
It's only been 2 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, we've won left dot.
Says whose clock?
This daylight saving
Plus,
time.
I can't let y'all. I can't leave you out in space any longer tonight because y'all are gonna eat each other alive with the drama. There's only so much you can put in 3 hours.
You wanted this. This is your fault. You stoked it.
You definitely did
No!
say.
Chat wanted this.
Okay, that is.
There goes
true.
Dot
I wanted
again,
this.
blaming chat.
I know, right?
There goes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Pro streamer.
there we are. It has been our 3-hour mark. So reminder for all of you at home. We played the faceless card in the judge, which means Mike and Paul, you guys can draw again next week. The other cards are still in play
I don't wanna.
until
Nothing
they get
good
used.
happens.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
All right, well, that's it. That's our dramatic ass show, episode 1, season 3. We're doing it live.
The drama.
The drama, like TNT. We know drama. That's it. We're out of here. We're done. I'm gonna go around. We're gonna do introductions. Thank you guys for all your shit, and thank you most importantly for making this happen. Like this wouldn't be here without the.
I have missed all of you so much.
Yeah, the massive crowdfunding that you guys helped with. This was insane. So yeah, we very much appreciate you, and this production is as much yours as it is ours. That being said, let's go around, do our introductions, and we will start with the magnanimous KP. KP, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Oh, wow. First off, this was absolutely brilliant. Thank you all for having me. Like Mike said, you guys made this happen. So, it's really thanks to you guys that I'm even here, and this wonderful crew brought me on. So thanks so much for that. As far as what I'm up to, I am rest and recouping here in India. So I'm in the future, 12 and a half hours ahead of most of y'all. And I'm going to get more coffee because I woke up at 4 o'clock. But no worries.
Thank you.
No, it's okay. I love this. As far as what I'm up to, I'm kind of taking a hiatus from this, but I'm known as KP11 Studios on my Twitter, my Twitch, and all my other social medias. I am a photographer who does cosplay and portrait photography, as well as a Twitch streamer. So you can find me there when I'm not in India, playing games, doing other culture-related stuff. I try to promote my culture through playing video games and storytelling. So if that's something that interests you, you can find me over there. One of the bigger announcements that we just teased about, I am, hopefully by the end of this month, we are still trying to plan that out, but I am going to be on a show, hosting a show with, wow, I'm having a little blank moment. Oh God, I hope she,
It's okay, 4 a.m. you said.
It's been for Anjali Bhimani. I am so sorry, Anjali. But if you do not know her, she's the voice actress for a lot of things that you might know in Overwatch and a whole bunch of other things. So we're going to be hosting a fun show that we're starting called Chit Chat and Chai, where we talk about South Indian culture in media and the representation that we have, and hopefully bring more representation in that. So, there you go. Look forward to that.
Hell freaking yeah. We'll jump right over to Paul. Paul, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Paul. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. All is in123. I ain't doing shit, but I'm here chilling. I don't stream as much as I used to. I don't upload, but it might change. It might not. Who knows? I don't know. You won't know. But yeah, you can follow my Twitter, and you can find here on
Unless you
Tuesday.
follow you.
Yeah, unless you follow me. Yeah. You better follow me. Okay, that's all I got. Deuces. Thank you.
That's terrifying. Aris, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? Hopefully more sane. And what are you up to?
Sane is questionable. Hi, I'm
Fuck
Eris
you, Mike.
Sabad. You can find me on Twitter at Stitched by Eris. You can find me usually on Gnome's channel, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where we drink coffee and talk shit. Unfortunately, we are not going to be brewing in the morning because of reasons, but that's okay. We'll be back on Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And that's all I got for now. You can also find me here.
So does that mean that Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern is the first Void Brew of Season 3?
I mean, if anybody wants to come talk Void Brew, then yeah, sure.
That's what I heard.
I have work.
Well,
Just
I'll be
quit.
there.
Just quit.
Mike, do you want to
cool.
come to Void Brew?
9 a.m. on Friday. Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I'll be at work too, but shh.
I might be able to do that because that's evening for me.
Perfect.
I was
There
like,
we go.
never. Eris is like, nope, never mind. Revoked.
Yeah, I was about to revoke that invitation.
Yeah, it
fine,
looks
you're
like,
fine.
so it looks like we're gonna do a Void Brew on Friday.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Void Brew.
Void Brew
All right,
Friday.
Mike and I will just
Wait,
quit our
wait.
job.
Oh,
Yeah.
also I make stuff. There's a website or
Oh
something.
yeah, do that. What's the website, you dork?
What?
Go to arisavad.com, buy all the things. I was trying to let her do it herself, but much like
You can use the code .army, get discount.
you can use the code
also
.army, you can use the code no brew, you can use the code hot dice daddies.
Dice. Oh my god.
Yes.
Either
Yes,
way,
Paul,
go
Hot
buy
Dice
stuff.
Daddies. If you
Just-
use the code Hot Dice Daddies on my website, then
Yeah.
you will make Joey and Mike extremely happy.
Yeah. Please use that
Very,
one.
very sad.
We don't get anything from it. We're just happy that you used it. Speaking of which, Joey, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Oh my god, hi, sup, my name's Joey. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and I don't really use Instagram, but nomadic. Y'all, I took a look at my schedule last night and realized that every game that I am playing or running is space. Monday nights, you can catch me over on Roll20 playing Burn Bright. Obviously here on Tuesdays, playing Coriolis. On Thursdays, guess what? You will also find me here. But I'm going to be kicking Dot out of that GM chair, so thank you for warming it up for me, Dot. You got some big shoes to fill. Woo-hoo-hoo, girl. I'm going to be... I'm bringing back our Expanse RPG campaign. We're going to continue that, and super excited for that. And then in February, we're doing more space with bears, playing Starfinder for a short little mini series, and I'm super excited for it.
That's true. That's true.
Fun.
That's it. That's anywhere else we can find you?
What about you? Oh, sorry.
No, not me. I live here. Dot, speaking of you and your big shoes,
What?
who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
It's actually untrue. Dot has tiny feet.
Yeah,
I have
Mike.
tiny feet for the record.
You idiot.
Tiny
Sorry.
feet.
Yeah, how
Confirmed.
did I not fucking know this?
My bad.
Yeah, what the hell?
Guys, my bad.
Stupid
Hey, y'all know
idiot.
my
My
shoe
God.
size. What, aren't we friends? No, okay, I'm Dot. You can find me online as Little Red Dot. Where that little part is important. Little. Play games. I roll dice. I tell stories. It's great. It's awesome. I do it a lot over on Cobalt Press, where I'm the Twitch producer for them. I don't have anything happening immediately on my channel that I can announce yet, but you can definitely catch me here, catch me there. We've got a new campaign over on Cobalt launching next Sunday, and I've got a pretty sweet Vampire the Masquerade podcast. If you like kind of dark mysteries and the darker look at soulless vampires, we got you covered. Plus, Gnome works his audio magic and makes us sound like professionals. So, check it out. It's called Stitch of Fate. You can check us out under Stitch of Fate or Pod by Night on your podcast listening platform of choice.
Hell freaking
That's
yeah.
what I have right now.
That being said, this is just recorded as our first full-on edited podcast version of this. We are currently working on season 1 and season 2, cleaning them up the same way we did Atari Twilight, but they will soon be on a Spotify, on an iTunes, on a Spreaker near you. And speaking of Atari Twilight, that is also coming back in podcast form. Gnome is editing both Atari Twilight Season 3 and Void Season 3, as well as Dot's amazing Pod by Night, Stitch of Fate. What else? That's really...
So he
that's
just
really
doesn't
all
have
we
enough on his plate, is what you're telling us.
No, yeah,
He
no.
needs more
no,
shit.
No, I mean,
Look,
if you want me
I
to
took a
add...
week off and nearly went insane. Thank you. Add more.
If you want me to add, Gnome's also here, like you said, on Thursday. He's also going to be here in Quarter 2 on Tuesdays, running a mysterious space game. He's also slotted to be here in the Quarter 3 and Quarter 4, because he said, put me on every schedule. And I said, all right, man, whatever. So that's, if I could add more, I would. I think that's it. If you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is Patreon. Link for that down below. Second best way is to join us over on our Discord and be a part of the conversation. I hope to see you here tomorrow. That's not true. I don't hope to see you here tomorrow. We're not going to be here. We're doing a Session 0. And if you want access to that Session 0 and the after show we're about to shoot right now, go join us on Patreon.
Hey, don't we have space merch too?
We do have space merch. Exclamation point merch in the chat. It's a shirt that says "Space is big," and you should get it because
Space is
space
big.
is big.
Space is big.
And
Is
with
it,
that,
though?
T-shirts to be truthful.
yeah, if you want facts, we got them. That being said, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next time. From all of us to you. Bye-bye.
See you next week.